angels on the way. Baby, 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 I could watch you through the night. Never gonna let you, never gonna let you out of my sight. No, I don't know what I'd do. I'd go mad if I ever lost you. Oh, these eyes are fixed on you. I won't answer when the devil knocks on my door. 'Cause I don't wanna go down the road I was on before. No, I was a liar and a cheat. Was blind, but you made me see. Oh, these eyes are fixed on you. These eyes are fixed on you. See, I finally understand, baby, what it means to be your committed man. So these eyes are fixed on you. Tomorrow's gonna come, I'll love you just the same. 'Cause I know who I am, and honey, that won't change. Oh no, a fool would only wonder, but I can't afford to lose. Oh, these eyes are fixed on you. Oh, these eyes are fixed on you. Oh, these eyes, oh, fixed on you, yeah. Oh, fixed on you, yeah. Oh, fixed on you, yeah, fixed on you.
Three, 1, 2, let's go. We're coming in hot tonight. I'm trying to talk too loud. I've had an interesting afternoon dealing with Buy Me a Coffee and Stripe. So I want to talk about that a little bit tonight. I've already unloaded a little bit on John about what was going on. I'm going to bring him in. I'm curious. So if any of you are using Buy Me a Coffee, I have questions for you, and I need to get enlightened. If anybody here has used Stripe as your processor, now I've used Stripe over the years for a lot of clients, for web designs, and even myself. So it's not like I'm new to them, but we battled it out today. It's been a weird day of Stripe and Buy Me a Coffee. So I want to talk about that. I'm a little fired up about it, to be honest with you. I think I could arm wrestle tonight. Mud wrestle, arm wrestle, get it all get it all handling. Oh, what do you guys think? Should we just bring out John, get the firing going? Yo, what's going on, Dr. Elo? I see everybody's going. I'm going to hit some people up. Let me kind of track back real quick. Oh, gosh, where should we start here? I see Dr. Elo, Mommy Guide, MD Picker, all you good. Let me see if we got, there we go. We got some stuff going on here. Tina, how you doing? Saying hi to Dr. Elo. I appreciate it. Saying hi to Lala. Oh, baby. We got our boy. You said that in a real low voice, though. We get a woot woot. We get a woot woot. We get a baby. All right, you guys are great. We're gonna see. I'm fired up. I was if you were here earlier down here, there were a lot of bad words being said. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I'm gonna bring John in. I'm not gonna say bad words to John because he's a dear friend of mine, and I wouldn't want to do that. John, what's going on, my friend?
Yo.
I'm going to be about 10 decibels louder than you. It's going to be insane tonight. I'm so mad.
I'm going to keep an eye on your levels so you don't outdo me.
I know. Or you'd be just like,
I'm actually gonna raise them right now. I better raise them right now, just in case.
You might want to come in hot. You want to come in at least at 65 decibels minimum with the booster.
I'm fired. I'm firing up.
Fired it up, shut it. We're gonna get this rocket. I'm so mad. Try not to drop F-bombs, but I'm had a day. And so how you doing, bike contest? Nice to see you. Danielle says hi, HH, how you doing? I'm gonna catch up. I am caught up. Drop them in there. I'm up to 12 seconds. Look at this character. She had to listen to some stuff. Hey, AIM, drop in how much naughty words are being said for like the last 2+ hours. It got, got a little dicey, She backed me up on it. So nice. Before I forget, you were on with Dr. Elo today at 4 p.m. on his channel, and
yes.
I was in the middle, unfortunately, of getting really pissed off, and so I didn't catch it. But how did that go? I'm sure it went well. I'll check it out later.
Yeah, I think it went really well. We had a great discussion, and it was fun. We had a blast.
I'm sure you guys, I knowing you too, I'm sure you did. Dr. Elo's a great host I know I've seen before, and you're a great guest and a host, so I'm sure that was a lot of fun. I will catch you guys later. You guys had to be, what did you guys talk about? What was your primary topic tonight?
Well, we talked about tech. He broke it down, and he was doing top 5s of my mics, the audio interfaces, lighting, but then we were just dropping a lot of knowledge in different ways. And it was a lot of fun. And we had a blast, and I don't have a lack of words. And
no, you don't.
Neither does he. So it was a good talk.
I'm surprised you guys didn't have spontaneously combust. Cancel Newegg, boys and girls. Now, why? What's going on with Newegg? What's going on with that?
I don't know.
Drop that information on us. I saw Arkansas back here. I missed him. Arkansas living. Come on, man. John can take it.
I know that guy.
He can take it. He can take it. Of course, you know him. He's our wonderful friend.
How you doing,
Arkansas living. He's got that beautiful hat. Someday when I'm down visiting my friends in Mississippi, I'm going to drop in there on Arkansas, and we're going to go fishing. Hey, Tommy. Tommy, you use Stripe with Buy Me a Coffee, probably. So here's the deal. If anybody here's used Buy Me a Coffee, what happened was I originally, like many people, used PayPal to receive the payments, and that was working fine. And I have read since then it wasn't Buy Me a Coffee. Buy Me a Coffee did everything they could to try to maintain that partnership. For whatever reason, PayPal said, no, we're done. And so they walked away. And you weren't left with a whole lot. You were left with basically Stripe, which, by the way, is a partner. I can show you this on the website. Like they and Stripe on their own websites talk about how they're partners, right? So I just want to put that out there because it leads up to an interesting story I just had. And you can use something called Payoneer, but I don't know much about it. I just want to say, I'm just going to put it this way. All my donations from the Buy Me Coffee since beginning, I didn't really watch $5 here, $5 there. I saw it in the Buy Me Coffee. Wasn't really worried about whether or not it was coming in. I had to do some accounting, and I realized several $100s of Buy Me Coffees.
$6,000 sitting in there?
Exactly. They're not coming in. Now, they came in just fine to Stripe. Oh, Stripe had no problem eating all that up. They ate up my payments up. But when it came to paying me, after they took the fees, they said, whoa, we don't know who you are. We're not sure you're I've had the account, by the way, for like 10 years. And so we went through, I've been in hell all day dealing with them about, and what they want me to do is, well, what's your company website? What are the products you're selling? I'm like, none. It's a donation site. Buy Me a Coffee, that you are a partner. You advertise that you're partners with them. And they want blood for, I'm stumbling. I'm getting into circular reasonings with people who keep passing me along. And I know how to talk the game. I'm like, hey man, you guys are using their API. You guys have integrated systems. I don't understand. I get it. And I still can't get through to these numbskulls. And so it has been a nightmare. So for anybody who's using Buy Me a Coffee out there and you had to change out of PayPal, which is going to be most of you, my question is, did you guys jump over to Stripe? Have you had any problems or not? I guess I would like to know your stories. And I think I got caught up in a review process is what happened. So I'm going to
Isn't
hit
an
people.
option to go right to a checking account or something? I
No,
think
there's
it
no direct
was,
pay.
right?
No, you got to go.
Oh, there's not.
You need a portal that will take that payment into your deal, whether it's Payoneer or Stripe or PayPal. No PayPal. Now it's Stripe, and they really do try to hammer Stripe. And I've always enjoyed Stripe till today. And then they will push it into your account next, and it's fine. It's great. It all works for everybody but me.
Wow.
Buy Me a Coffee one, Stripe one, Jeffrey zero. That's how it went down. Dr.
I'm
Elo
going to
says
have to do
amazing.
that soon, so that should be exciting.
Well, maybe you'll have better luck, but I just want to put out a few. There might have been a review. This may be a weird case. However, we did find other people who had the same problem. It wasn't just me, and people with a lot more money in it than me, and they never got their money.
Copy.
And they wonder why people are going to Bitcoin.
They never got their money?
Never got it. Stripe deemed their account to be whatever, and they never get. And I've heard this with PayPal, by the way. That's scary stuff. Never put your business and personal together. Get it out of there as quick as you can and move it. Do not integrate them, because PayPal will do the same thing. You get one complaint and they would hammer your account, freeze it. They always go by the person who's complaining. And so it's problematic.
I can't wait to go through this.
Yeah. You're itching for that?
I'm going to go live right now. And
You can check it out.
and just go.
Somebody give me a
Go check
donation.
this
I'm going to
out.
go on. He's like, I'm going to hook up a Stripe account right now. Yeah, so I got
I'm
nothing,
so
man.
aggravated already.
I bet you are, because I know you hate this stuff as much as I do. But I was so mad, man. Watching the Bruins, Dr. Don, and jumping in here. We're just fired up. We're mad tonight. We're not getting paid. Yeah, we'll go fishing. I used to do some smallmouth bass fishing down there. That was kind of things in the ponds down there. Got Amy going, hey, Cashew. Amy's calmed down. Her blood pressure is always so much more calm than mine, which is great. It is rotten, right, Tina? I'm such a victim. I apologize. I'm yelling. I'm so mad. Arkansas Living. Okay. PayPal did that to me, and it was mostly money we were using to give Bibles away. That's the thing. Every day I'm reading about people just ultimately scamming. They're the devils, and and there's people like Arkansas Living or me. I'm just trying to get a couple coffees in. I wanted to take that money. I had worked with a couple people. One was Roxanne, and we were trying to get some money together, buy some of these llama mugs. Eventually, we would like to sell and give them away. And went to go get that money. And you know what? I can't even get the access to the money. It's such a bummer, man. It's such a bummer. Hey, our good friend Annie from the warm weather areas here. How you doing? Wanted to say hi-yes to you as well. Thank you for stopping and saying hi. And hey, thank you to all of you for stopping in hi. And for forget, let's just drop in what we're here for. Like, here we go. Let's just, ask questions. John and Jay are here. You like my little ticker at the bottom? Look at that. We're here to answer questions. Any questions. Any tech questions. It could be as simple as you're a starter. We're going to dabble in that in a minute when I'm done complaining. I can see John's already reviewing his Stripe account.
That's what's funny is I'm in my dashboard and I'm looking for my money total that was there like 2 weeks ago, and I don't see it.
That happened to me. And so I had zero. I'm like, okay, Buy Me a Coffee has moved my money. Now, where did it move it to? Because I don't see any in my bank account. And that's when I went in my Stripe, and I'm like, oh, it's sitting in Stripe. It's safe. But why isn't it supposed to be there within like 2 days? Nothing's come in months and months and months. So I started the small process of going, well, I'll fix this. And it's gone into a couple days now of just absolute insanity, man. I'm just sick of it. TH2. Hello, John and Jay. You stopped in while we're mad. We're not getting paid.
Hi.
We're not getting paid, TH2. Our Buy Me a Coffee accounts have locked us out. You guys are going to have to start buying me vodka accounts. I would do vodka and rum and Coke for my pirate stuff. So I could use a little bit of that right tonight. Tonight would be a great night for rum. Would you guys be against me drinking rum? Like have one rum and Coke on streams? I know that there's a Tommy co-host that would be okay with that.
There's my balance.
You found it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So if I want to withdraw, I could choose my payout and it could go to a bank depot. Payoneer? What the heck is Payoneer?
That's Payoneer's
direct bank deposit.
Yeah. I checked into that. I wasn't really excited about it. Hey, by the way, Dr. Elo, I've had a Stripe account for like 15, 20 years, I think. And I did the same thing. And I think it's not about that. And what's funny is if you go to Stripe or you go to Buy Me a Coffee and they talk about their partnership program, they're like, hey, if you're a podcaster, freelancer, man, come in here and, you know, take a little doobie hit and sign up. It's that easy, man. Okay. Well, no, it's not. I mean, I was already a Stripe user, and I'm having an ongoing battle with about 1,500 people named Marie on chat. Like that's all, they're the same name all day, and it was different people. I don't think they're just using the same console. I hope they wipe their keyboards down. I don't know. It's maddening. I'm just curious. This is good information. Go ahead.
I'm relaxed now because I could just let this total up, sit and buy me a coffee.
Yeah, your money's safe.
Whenever I want, I could just cash it right out to my checking account.
Manually. You got to manually do it.
Yeah, you manually have to do it. I know it's not like, you know, it says right here, if like I set up Stripe or whatever, then it will go through there and head in. But I don't care. You know, I'll just go there and.
This shouldn't be a problem. And here's the thing. I'm actually a big fan of Stripe. When I've had to set up people's e-commerce sites, loved working with Stripe for a lot of reasons. PayPal, absolutely hated PayPal's interface, their API. Right. Love Stripe. I don't want to beat on them as a company, but I've seen too many people online today have this similar problem. And this is really hard to deal with. You can't get anybody on the phone. They're putting you in circular baskets.
Can you ever?
Yeah, no, you can't. No, you can't. So I just want to touch base with people and let you know. Now, do I think what happened is I had an account and no one alerted me anything. I keep going there. I check my emails, nothing. But then they want to say, well, you know, we have the right to review a current customer. Well, then why didn't you review me when I checked in with Buy Me a Coffee? You didn't have any problems with that. You didn't have any problems taking the money. You've had no problems taking fees from it. You've had no problems sitting there making interest on it. But you got a problem paying it out. And now we want to have a conversation. Have that conversation when I create the account. Have that conversation when I interface with Buy Me a Coffee. I mean, not if you take a bunch of money and then sit on it. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
That's
I know.
We're so trapped.
I've been dragging my feet too. I was supposed to switch that over a long time ago too. They asked me like 3 times.
Don says, Jeff, did you watch my group stream? Can you believe it? 3rd stream since last Thursday. I caught your, you're talking about the test stream you did there. I caught the end of it. I know you were having audio issues and stuff. I thought you sounded really good at the end. I'm sorry I didn't see you were on, but I did check the end of it. I saw Lala was there. And I did drop a little note there at the end, but good on you, man. I thought you looked good and you sounded good.
You found... What? Did I find this YouTube? Because I remember I was struggling to find it. Did you find it?
It was on the Facebook group.
What Facebook group?
The mastermind thing or the online John Pullum's group.
I don't belong to that.
Oh, well then there you go. Then that won't work.
Well, I'm just saying because I want to see what Don's doing. So if you're subscribed, can you put his link in the chat?
Yeah. I mean,
not right now.
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I'll give you the link. Yeah, I'll give it to you. Yeah, you should check it out. Check it out. It was good to see him actually. It was good to see him all fired up.
Check it out.
Absolutely. And this is the other issue with Buy Me a Coffee is Stripe isn't in every country. So,
right.
So you had to go PayPal before, but what are you doing now? Or is Stripe available now? I don't know what the deal is there, but no. Yeah. But I think Buy Me a Coffee isn't part. Right. No, they PayPal pulled out.
Right.
So it's really Payoneer, Stripe, which they're really promoting Stripe heavy if you go there. And that's what's infuriating to me. It's like what happened was what they want is, you know what they wanted? They said, well, here's what you need to do. Just give us your website for your company. And then we'll look at it, but make sure you're listing all your products and services and what you're listing and what the taxes. I'm like, I'm not selling anything, man. I'm just trying to get a Buy Me a Coffee donation from a partner of yours. Why?
Right.
I can't.
I just want my money.
I just want my money. I want my coffee money. Like what?
Listen, we've been talking about Buy Me a Coffee, how great it is, and now you just really let us down.
Yeah, now you've just bummed me out, bro. Just bummed me out. I do it on my Matthew McConaughey voice. You just bummed me out, man. God. Unleash the fire, Jeff. We'll make some flambe out of your wrath.
That's it.
Flambe, yes. Sometimes you just got to rub 2 Jeffries together and just get a big old fire. Oh, customer service. Let me talk to you about customer service over at Stripe. Let me just tell you. They would literally have a conversation with me and then forward the conversation to me, and they would tell me, well, write us. I'd write them, and then it would turn me down. And then I would contact them. We're like, oh, well, you need to fill out. I'm like, I just did this. And then we're back into the circular thing. And they're like, well, I got to pass you up to the. I'm like, I know the routine by now, but it's not helping me. So, right. I don't know what to tell you. It is the best chat. I love this chat. They're fun. So I didn't mean to get, you know what? I don't know what the answer is. I'm hoping to have an answer, if not tonight. I may even look at my email when John's talking or something, because they're supposed to send me an email and update me. I've had two bummer emails from them though tonight. Then it didn't go my way. So what's going on? Well, what's going on? John and I are going to do some things. I'm actually surprised this all worked, because it's one of those nights where I didn't do any prep, and I haven't done my computer, my router. I'm like, well, this will just all fall apart. I'm sure this is all going to be ending horribly. But so far it's all rocketed up. A couple things. So for the next
You're in the groove, bro.
So next few weeks, maybe longer, I'm kind of doing a back to basics of streaming. And it's not that we're not going to touch on more advanced things, because John has something I'm actually very interested in the sound area that I don't know if you want to touch on tonight, but that might be cool. But I kind of want to just go back, and not just for you guys, but also for me. I know there's some people in here they kind of know some things, they kind of don't. They might know a little bit about that or this. I'm going to start with some of the streaming apps, and we'll just always kind of touch on them at the beginning of each show and then move into other things. But I have an idea, and I'm going to use my NDI for this, because as you know, when you're trying to show your current streaming platform, you end up with that inception problem, right? Where it just goes on and goes on and goes on and goes on. So what I'm going to do is set up my NDI, have it streaming to myself or whatever, and I'm going to bring that into desktop, and then that doesn't create all sorts of nonsense. And then I can show things without it being all wonky. So I'm kind of excited to use that and see how that works out. So, oh, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't see people were on here and blah, blah, blah. Todd, how you doing? Happy Christmas. 2 trees.
What's up, Todd?
Hey, Todd, is it just going to be 2 trees until like December? I don't get I don't get it. Like, what's 2 trees mean? Does that mean we're 2 months in? Is that February? Are you doing a new tree a month? Well, I would get really exhausted around October. Here we go. Don says, John, I have my YouTube, but it's not under my name. Well, let us know what that is. Let's figure it out. I have the random YouTube channel link, no videos yet. Okay. All right. We got you. We'll figure it out.
I'm just interested because I want to watch too. Okay.
Oh, Cashew. Thank you. I think Cashew is, she's sticking it to me here a little bit. Go ahead and buy him a coffee. I'll probably have $8,000 of coffee after tonight that I will not have access to. I shouldn't say that, but I don't want to dissuade anybody from buying a coffee, but it's just absolutely infuriating. Yes. I need that buy me a vodka. I'm telling you right now, that would be a huge, could you imagine how much money? Probably make more money buying vodka. Yeah. Well, there's no meaning, but
pizza.
You could buy pizza. We need to come up with a meaning for those trees, Todd. Maybe it could be a color thing, but then this emoji thing, you really can't do anything about that. All right. So let's just run through this quick. Most of you pretty much know this, and the other part of you probably don't even really care that much, but here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do...
No one really cares.
For the people that care, stick around. Stick around. We'll get angry with this. So, yeah, this is going to take 5 minutes, so you guys can lash out.
Like we use StreamYard.
Yeah, exactly. You can lash out. Look, I don't care what you use. It doesn't matter. You can learn something, because I going back and looking at the basics of some of these streams, and I'll explain what this is here. Get my bearings, because here's the issue. It's on an NDI, so I'm literally flipping things around here. Look at that. That's all with my mouse. Everything I just did there is all with my mouse buttons. All right, so I know there are exceptions to everything. We don't care. We're just going to run some general rules, and what I'm going to do is kind of go through the basic platforms for people who may not know. a refresher course. And I think next
Right.
week I'm going to do an OBS, a little OBS basic. Oh God, my battery
By
is
the way,
low.
your battery is running low.
You know why? Because I shut off my power on my rack. Let's see if the sound comes through my 18i20 now. Hopefully not. I have a power supply in my rack console that powers all my audio stuff, and I have my computer plugged into there. So thank God it was just turning it on. All right, so we all know the basic streaming options. I think next week I'm going to do is do a basic OBS. If anybody has any questions, want to know how to do a scene or a certain type of scene, we'll kind of just set that up so you can see the idea of it. And I think the next week I'll do StreamYard. There's some new things that StreamYard has released. I'm dipping hard into Restream right now. I think I'm going to start using that for fun, for experience, although vMix is my life. All right, so let's just kind of dig into the basics here, okay? So OBS is, here's some things about OBS that we should know. Platform-based. Okay, so again, we're dealing here, that's interesting. I just, hang tight, guys. Oh, I see I see what happened. I see what happened. Okay, we have two options for streaming platforms. Okay. And what happened was this was supposed to be desktop options. And I know what happened here. I accidentally typed the wrong. There we go. There we go.
Double D.
There we go. Whatever. We have desktop options. So that means it's a downloadable app to your desktop or PC or whatever, right? So we're going to bring an app in, we're going to load it up, and we're going to go through that app. And then we have web-based platforms. So that's the difference, is an app that you're going to bring down onto your console, your PC or Mac, or something you're going to log into through a browser, right? So if we start with the desktop apps, that's where I wanted to be. That's going to be, let's see, let's try this. Let's try this. No, let's try this instead. So for the desktop apps, there's probably, look, there's more than what I'm going to show you, but these are our universal primaries right now, right? So OBS is actually great. John and I still like OBS quite a bit. I think a lot of people bag on it. I don't know why. I think it's still a great.
I think they bag on it because either one of these things, the Ecamm, the vMix, or the OBS, you're going to have to put some effort in to learn any of them. But being that OBS is free and can do so much nowadays, I don't know why they would bag out on it.
I don't either. You and I really find it to be really stable since 17, version 17. I just think it's wonderful. As far as the PayPal, well, that's where it started. And then they yanked PayPal, and then we ended up with what we have now. We're going to get our monies. I will update people on how that's going to go, but we will get our monies. Don't you guys worry about it. I'm not going to let up until I have our monies. All right. So on OBS, what's great is it's Mac, Windows, and even Linux. It's a little more complicated with Linux, like anything with loading it on, but it works great. I know I did do a little research on the people who use it. The other thing I do like about, let's see if I can get this formatted here. Nope, that ain't it. There we go. So it's a free, right? Now I know a lot of people use that OBS Stream, what's that, Streamlabs? They call it slobs. Streamlabs OBS.
Yeah.
They pay for it, which they shouldn't. And we've had that discussion about don't do that. Look, if you're going to get into OBS, and I think if you're going to start streaming, OBS is perfect. Bring it in, it's free. Drop it into your system, play around with it. There's no money. You can play with it locally, right? You don't even have to stream out to play with it. Get real comfortable with it.
And the thing is, it also gives you a building block.
That's what I mean, right?
Because when you go into Ecamm or vMix, there's a lot of similarities. You know, when you have to bring in a browser source or you have to bring in any sources, you're still doing a lot of the same stuff. And this will help you learn the other stuff before you even have to pay for it. And you might find out that you might not even have to go anywhere from here.
Yeah, that's the thing. And John, you're so right that this is one of those cases where OBS really helped me because I didn't understand this whole streaming thing a year ago. And then I got OBS. I'm like, I know software well, but this is confusing to me at first. but OBS was a great way to learn. And then when I went to StreamYard and eventually vMix, it is such a great foundation because a lot of the same, ideas, parameters, the talk speak around it, from scenes to what we're trying to do, all is pretty universal. You can kind of, once you get the lay of the land of the different apps, you can pretty much go into any of them and pretty much set yourself up. I think that's what John is saying is absolutely true with it. And for it to be free, it's wonderful. No, I'm not going to get into the specifics of it.
Can I make one more good point?
Absolutely. Do it.
With OBS, because we may have a lot of beginners, right, watching this. And so then the thing about OBS is if you can learn like the real basics of it, and I know Tina is saying in the chat, I've used OBS as a virtual cam. Well, if you are a beginner and you're using, say, StreamYard, it's not uncommon for a lot of people to use in StreamYard or Restream the virtual cam in OBS, and then you can bring in some overlays and some name tags or any way you want to jazz it up. It gives you a little bit more freedom, and still with multi clientele on the screen, it doesn't go over your head. So you can even like utilize a little of each to get to a happy playing field, and then, but OBS with StreamYard, hey, a lot of people do it.
They do. And you can do it with Zoom. I did it with Zoom for a while for some things I was doing. What it does, it just gives you all that production control. And what's great about OBS or anything like vMix or Ecamm in the end, where you're using it on your desktop, the beauty of that is you can send that mix out and you always have control. You don't have to go rebuild and Restream or rebuild in StreamYard. They have tools and they're wonderful. But if you want to just be able to send, and especially if you're a guest, then you don't have the control. But I was like Lala's guest, and I was doing a Notion presentation. Well, I needed desktop, this and that. It's just easier when you have your own ecosystem. And so to John's point, to be able to set that up and have that control before you even get online, it's wonderful. And it helps actually the host out actually as well, what we find.
Yeah.
Because then that takes the pressure off of them to try to help you out, figure out what you're trying to do. Now, I don't have Ecamm. I don't have a Mac. So Ecamm is a desktop app that's made specifically really for Mac. It's a great program. It's about from what I've seen, $20 a month, $40 a month, depending on what plan you're going. Some of these prices might be $1 or $2 off. I don't really care. It's in that general vibe. People swear by it. It's great. It's really just the vMix relative for PC, essentially, which is what vMix is. So again, another app that we download. Now, the really difference besides the platform here would be these are one-time fees. So we're not paying on that model monthly. So beyond the fact that these are actually different platforms, they actually have a different pricing fee. Now, for some people that doesn't matter, but for John and I, it was kind of nice. I mean, you can grab that $60 one for vMix, and you can use that and make all sorts of cool productions to be a guest or just to stream out as one person. The other thing that we want to mention here, it's not just for streaming. I mean, to be able to sit down with any of these three and record for a desktop or some kind of video. I've used vMix and OBS for all the videos I've done or whatever. Works great. It's just a built-in recorder. It's wonderful. So, but I mean, $1,200 seems like a lot of money, but Ecamm, after 2 years, you paid for it. So pick your poison. But
I mean, also, you got to remember the $1,200 is the full-blown best system setup that you can get. I actually missed one in here. Is one below that is $700.
I saw that,
and that would be the 4K model.
Yep.
That's what I have. So it lets you bring in four people into your stream, but like Jeff is saying, they do offer a monthly fee. $50 a month if you want that, okay? Because you know why they were losing out? Because say you're running a big production and you want to just have an extra PC with vMix on, then you could just pay $50 for that month and you could put it and add it to that production. So they were realizing people are asking for that and it was needed, so it made sense to offer that. But to Jeff's point, people are paying in 1 year of what I can, cost effectively pay out in 1 year and then save the money for the future. And that's why I'm using a PC versus a Mac, because I can build out my Mac to survive for a little bit longer, and I can have something that's paid for. That was my choice to do that.
Yeah. And look, if all I had was a Mac, I would just accept that I got to pay the monthly. And so I get it. Maybe that, but I was happy that in my case, it worked out that I could just pay and kind of know. And then no matter what plan, thanks for reminding me about that. You know, no matter what plan you're on, I think if you want to then get an upgrade after a year, it's $60 no matter what plan you're on with the vMix. So it's not a huge upgrade if you decide in a year or 2 years that you want to get, you know, the newest stuff. With Ecamm, of course,
right?
Yeah, if the Ecamm, that's part of the built-in, so you don't have to worry about it. So, you know, they're all great.
And Ecamm's got some things that is great, you know.
Yes.
And if you have a Mac and that's your platform, Ecamm is the one you're using.
Yeah, man. They're all wonderful. That's the whole thing. I think we get caught up into so-and-so's better and better. We joke about it because it's fun. But the truth of it is they're all amazing. They just are. We have so much to choose from, and rather than beat down on it, we should just enjoy the fact that we have these tools. Shay says, like that you're all talking about all this, trying to keep learning this tech stuff. The breakdown is helpful. I'm glad it's helpful. I struggle with this, but and John and I spoke, I'm like, I really kind of want to drop back a little bit to basics a little bit. And again, it's not just because of people in chat or anything. I also find these are changing constantly. OBS is getting new additions. StreamYard for sure did. I was shocked at how many changes I saw the other day. And then Restream, I'm trying to get familiar with that and their new linking system. And so I realize is I'm going back to basics as much as anybody. So I think there's some healthiness to going in and doing that and just taking a fresh look. And so I hope you guys enjoy the ride a little bit as we go through it. And what I want is for all those who are using these tools and maybe know some of them a little bit more than me, please drop some knowledge if I'm going in the wrong direction, and we'll fix these notes as we go. I'm gonna save these mind maps as master notes.
Yeah, I mean, the little notes are they're only one aspect of the things. I mean, when you have what you have, if you got a PC and that's what you have, and it has to be a pretty powerful PC to run vMix, then semi, depending on how big your production is. But it goes the same way with Ecamm too. So, and the thing is, a lot of people are buying the new M1 Max, and Ecamm works fantastic with the M1, and they'll have no problem streaming. OBS is just gotten better and better. I was telling Jeff, I don't think we would have strived to get into to vMix as soon as we did if they were offering a lot of the things that OBS can do now. Because a year ago, you couldn't do a lot of things. So OBS is it's getting better and better. And plus, Jeff and I mean, going back about 8 months or so, we did a stream where I brought you in as a guest into OBS. And a lot of people were not ever doing that. And I actually have a stream set up again to revisit Video Ninja. And I was going to ask you if you wanted to jump in and do that with me one day.
Absolutely. That would be fun. I'd like to know a little bit more about that.
Video Ninja is the easy way to bring in a guest into OBS. And so a lot of people get hung up on that and they don't know the workaround. And if you use Video Ninja, then you can make that happen.
What is she saying? Why don't they have one for Mac? Have one. Are you talking about I can't remember if she's talking about the pricing model or if she's talking about vMix or what have you.
Oh, maybe a total price.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, it's funny how I don't think they planned it. It's just vMix went that route of the one payment model. And look, they also now have a model for monthly, which I did not include in here. I think it's 60, or I can't remember how much it is a month now, 50. So that's true. And I did leave that out as long as with the 700s. I just kind of threw some numbers, but the truth of it is they want to go, everybody wants to go monthly. Everybody wants to go monthly. I don't want to, so I hope that they don't. But look, here's the truth. I think down the road, vMix is going to drop only monthly model anyway. I think that's just going to happen, sadly. So let's just break down. This is our basics.
You think vMix is going to go there?
I do. I think vMix is going to go the way of Microsoft and Adobe. They all They all held out, and then they realized they had no choice. When you start breaking down the cost factor of distributing updates and supporting all these different updates, you have no choice eventually. Yeah. I bet they do, but I hope they don't. You know what I mean?
The owner's saying he's not going there, and he's not even thinking about it.
Good.
But you know what? Dollar signs change in the future. So
do owners. Well, I mean, so hopefully not, because I like the model as it is. So let's just hope that that's the case, and they don't have to switch. Right. I mean, look, I don't think
sell it and walk away. You're true.
Could. It could happen. It sadly does happen. So the other option we have, and we kind of touched on them, web-based, and they're OS independent, right? So what I'm just saying is, whether it's Mac or Linux or PC, it's browser-based. Now, most of them, it seems, correct me if I'm wrong, they want to lean into the Chrome browser because of the extensions, and it's just a more universal browser. So they claim they won't work with other browsers. It's not true. I use Vivaldi all the time because, again, it uses the same Chromium generator. So it's just a little more finagling. But the truth of it is, Chrome is usually what they want you to use. But outside of that, it's not really specific to anything, which is kind of nice. That makes it on the go, easy. Right. That's not what I wanted to do. Power. God almighty. You got to click that, then do that. So our two biggest ones that I know there's some new ones on the horizons. I know there's Ustream. I know Waves.audio is building something that looks pretty exciting. But I went with I'm sorry? Who?
Melon is a great one too.
Yeah, Melon. If people want to include Zoom, I don't include Zoom really because I just think as a streaming apparatus, it's not awesome. Right. I use Zoom all the time. I don't like Zoom, but we're not going to put Zoom in here. So StreamYard and Restream for now, because most people, that's where they fall in line. Hey, Crafts, how you doing? I see you. I'm trying to keep my eye on everything. vMix. Yeah. Yeah, vMix right now is basically your Ecamm. Ian, how you doing? What are you using? Ann, are you using... I bet you're using Restream. I wonder if she's using... I know that Lala uses a mixture of Restream and Ecamm. So I'm just curious what people are using, honestly. Todd says no vMix for Mac and no Ecamm for Windows because you don't cross the streams. We're so old and we still remember the Ghostbusters, right? We still get it.
Never cross streams.
Never cross streams. So John and I really after we kind of played around with OBS for a bit, then we started with StreamYard, really. And we used that for quite a while. I think we used it for most of the summer as we were trying to get into our vMix mode. Right. I just realized I didn't put a pricing structure down here, but I can tell you from what I've seen that they're pretty close. StreamYard, generally, they have that zero plan. But you're in that $20 range and that $40 range. They have a $10, but it's not really advertised. It's something that you can either request. And if you go to cancel your account from the 20 or 40, they offer it to you. They're like, oh, don't go. Yeah. Don't go. And they offer $10. It's like the essentials or something.
They offer it during Black Friday also. That's how
I didn't know it existed. And then when I tried to cancel my $20 a month, they're like, no, don't leave. We have this thing called the essentials. And I'm like, tell me more. It was a great deal. So
tell me more.
So for $10, you can get a pretty good deal with StreamYard. Now, Restream, I wish I could say a lot about it. I'm learning. So when I get to the Restream basics, I will know more.
Right.
What I've seen,
similarities.
It's about $19 a month, if you're paying yearly, you get a couple $1 break. But let's just say it's about $20 a month, and then again, in that $40, it's very similar. It's going to be very interesting to do a side-by-side at some point in one of these streams with them, because I realize there's obviously some similarities, but man, there's some glaring differences that I don't want to say they're shocking, but I think it's good to know when you're trying to pick one out. But I think it's going to be good for me to go into Restream. Yep. And John and I have an application for it that we're going to test out. But beyond, I think it's going to be great to have a real-world use case to get into Restream and learn more about what's going on down there. How you doing, Rodrigo?
Yeah, at this point, Restream could be a powerful thing to add on for us.
I think so. And so we're going to have more to say on that as we go. Boston Don. Hey, Don. I have a vMix, and because I have my new MacBook Pro M1 Max, I have Ecamm. Currently just working with vMix on my streams. So you do have Ecamm though. So you got both. But the nice thing is, if you've already bought the vMix, you could jump into Ecamm and pay that monthly, but not have to really worry about 2 payments. So that's kind of nice, and you get to play around a little bit. I wish I had a Mac, honestly. I think I would love to play a little bit with the Ecamm. I'd like to know more. I mean, I've done some video watching and that helpful, but there's nothing like getting in there and actually playing with it to know for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, John.
I've messed with it when I had my Mac, and it just wasn't as developed as it is right now.
Right.
And the thing that I'm not thrilled with is still the audio, and Ecamm can be better. So, and that really bothers me because, you know, I don't want people messing with my sound. That was part of the real reason why I liked vMix so much.
Now, I know Tommy has an opinion on the Restream and the Duck Logo company, the streaming that he refuses to name. We all know who that is, StreamYard. So he basically, I know he likes Restream better than StreamYard, and I know why. And well, he's even dropping it here, and I'll just put it up there. So Tommy multi-streams. So I believe he streams out. Did he stream to Twitch too, or is he? I can't remember now. I think he does this to Twitch too. So that's the other issue. Now, John and I don't do that. We don't multi-stream yet. I haven't tried to do that. I don't
think that I will either.
I probably won't either, but for the people that do, that I get it. And so that's a deal. Restream RMTP into vMix is amazing. The merging of chats alone is worth it. Okay.
Right.
I got it. So you can set up and restream multiple stream links out, integrate it with your vMix. It's awesome. And yes, I agree that if you can merge chats, that's going to be really critical as well. Again, this gets into that nuance thing. Are you in that club where you need to merge chats and you're doing the 2 streams out, blah, blah, blah? If you are, big consideration. Yeah, good points. Appreciate it. Yeah, and that's the thing, Tommy. I'm going to get into Restream. I might have to pick your brain here and there, although I don't know. That means I just got to spend more time with Tommy. Hey, Jim Bow as well. Thank you for stopping and saying hi. Appreciate it. Todd agreed. John, Ecamm needs to do better on their audio controls. So that's the thing, huh? Their audio controls are a thing.
Oh, there's a lot of little things, you know.
Yeah, there were some little. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah.
And there's things that are frustrating about vMix because it's such a production-based, program. Because they, it's basically used for productions, and it wasn't like I'm thinking about streaming first, So that's where Ecamm has a couple little things that make it so nice, And if vMix can add a few of those things on the fly stuff for streaming and not for production studio purposes, it would be nice. Otherwise, I think it's like top notch, and I think it is overall the best thing to use.
Okay. Ian says Melon Amp is having this big discount and still running till 5 days from now. Gig Art shared it. Gigi, she's using Melon. Interesting. Okay, cool.
Melon's good.
It's good to know. I need to. Yeah, again, I should have maybe put Melon on here, and I thought about it, but I'm like, I don't want to get in too many weeds that I don't know about.
But there's more than that, Than
there is. I mean,
other ones that you leave out.
You can get into so many things. I think at some point you just pick the more. I mean, someday if Melon is bigger than the Duck Logo and Restream, and they might be,
right?
Then we'll bring them in. Like, there's only so many you want to cover because people just start to kind of lose their minds.
There's only so many melons that you
there's only so many melons that I can, what do you call that when you scoop them out? I don't know.
Work with.
Tommy has an opinion. Restream is unlimited free hours for paid side, have royalty-free music built in, plus the pair streaming may be cool in the future. So I think he's speaking to I don't know if he's speaking to the linking or there's another feature. So yeah, I'm looking into that shared or that linking out of streams, live streaming. I did it once, and it worked out very well, and it was very easy. And John and I are going to play with some of those toys, and we'll figure it out.
And this is the crazy thing is, like, it was only about, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 weeks ago that Restream has the free music. Maybe it's longer. I forget.
Mm-hmm.
But then along the way, now StreamYard has it.
Yep.
So it's like,
I know.
It's they battle each other tooth and nail with whatever they're doing, and the only persons that benefit are us, because one is going to fit your needs or the other, and but they're all great. And like I just said, I think if I was to get anything next again because of the things that Tommy's talking about, I would probably pick up Restream.
I'd agree. I mean, it does, and I also will say it does seem to me, at least in this last year, that Restream is leading the way with the innovations, where StreamYard is being reactionary to it. So, for the most part, and that's interesting. Is that a deal breaker? No, but it's interesting. For me right now,
it's almost like, okay, we're not going to do anything more until we see what Restream does.
Well, we're gonna let them R&D everything. And figure it out and figure out what people maybe want. And look, that's a strategy that has helped a lot of companies. There's a lot of companies who put it out there in the tip of the spear, did all the R&D, all the focus groups, and ended up dying on the vine because they paid the price for that. And then other companies came in and scooped it all up. And on the flip side, they end up winning big because they, it can be very proprietary too over time. So, here we go. Jesus, he's just not that I've seen, although I can't for the last.
You know who's got a dark mode now, though?
Who?
Canva.
I got dark. I don't know why you guys complain. I got dark mode on everything. It's a simple little Chrome extension, dark mode, anything I want.
Yeah.
Instant control, granular control, and you guys are all living with buggies and gas lamp lights.
Right.
You got to wait on some.
You showed that months ago.
I did. What's wrong with you people waiting on Canva? Good Lord. I don't think they do. I mean, Tommy, your point, no one's going to argue here. I think Restream, keep piling on, because I think Restream has done a really good job of, I think they've surpassed StreamYard. I don't think there's a question right now.
You know what it comes down to? Advertising. When you have multiple talented people that are on YouTube going out and using it constantly and talking about it, that's why more people know about it. And when everybody in someone's group is using StreamYard all the time, that's all they know. So people are like, oh, well, StreamYard's so easy. Yeah, because that's all you've seen. That's the only thing you've ever seen.
Yeah, and we see that with the tools. We see that with the tech. We get pounded without.
That's why people buy.
Hey, that's why people advertise. It works. Okay, advertising truly works.
Blue
right?
Yeti still. That's why they're buying a Blue Yeti and a Snowball microphone.
Oh my God, that's so true. Well, free music. Whoa, scoots over to check on Restream. Yeah, I saw that when I was playing around in there. Look, I dabbled into Restream and I couldn't really get at it till today and tomorrow. I'm going to start really looking into it. John's going to get a lot of knocks. I would like to test some things out, knock on Restream, because I want to get in and play around. So I'm looking to Sammy, I missed you, man. I'm sorry, man. This guy knows about all this stuff. I'm a big fan of Wave Audio so far, better than the other softwares so far. I saw I did see your interview with the Wave Audio people and
Chad.
Yeah, Chad. That looked really impressive. I think they got a really.
It did.
Yeah, it looks.
Yeah.
The only thing is.
Yeah. I was just going to say, it's the same scenario. It could be very well, like a lot better than most, but until it starts getting, the traction from people using it, Well,
it's the truth with any of this stuff is once you're an innovator and once you get out there enough and entrenched, it can get very hard to get into the front of the minds and souls of people. They don't like to change their tech often. When people get into StreamYard or they get into vMix, they get into a universe. They get a little bit protective. It's like Mac and PC or Android and iOS. People get really weirdly cultish and defensive about it, like tribal. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I want to go where
like
the tools work for me. But man, you are just bitten into the Yeti bone. The Yeti bone. Poor John. We're going to have an intervention. It's a shame. Tommy says influencers just want to grab money instead of the best interest of the viewers. And that's true. And that's a problem for me. Like I love vMix, but I want to do a full stream on one of these streams on Restream. Cause I just think looking through that, it's let's be honest, out of all of them, it's the most under advertised or promoted that I see. I'm not saying they don't have a budget, but let's be honest, between Ecamm, vMix, and StreamYard, you're not going to tell me that Restream has got the same product awareness or placement right now. It just doesn't. That could work in its favor because I think word of mouth is going to push it in areas and save them a lot of money. That's what I think. Especially with Tommy out there. Tommy's got his flapping gums. He's all over his 10,000, live chat viewers, and he's like, "Hey, Restream." How are they not sponsoring you, man? You are such a big fan of them.
And like I've said, the funny thing is that my first stream was using when I didn't use OBS, and I wanted to try one of these two things. I did a stream with Restream. That was my first ever using a web-based product.
Yeah. Yep. I didn't know what to use. We got an OBS, and I thought, oh man, OBS is pretty easy once you get into it. And then we're like, no, we should use StreamYard. I'm like, well, why would I use StreamYard? That's where I was at. And John was ahead of the curve. He said, well, because you could use OBS and go into StreamYard. And then my mind went, no, that's crazy talk. Why would I go into OBS and then go into StreamYard? It took me a minute to understand that local control, that local mixture of scenes that you can set up. And then, guess what? You can push it out to Skype. You can push it out to your Zoom meeting. You can push it out as a guest to StreamYard and do all these things. Like, it takes a minute sometimes to understand these layers. I think going back to what you said earlier, and I see this with other apps, OBS is a great starting platform to tool around and mix around. It's free. You can download anything and play with it. I would always tell people to start there and play.
I mean, you can't break anything, right?
Can't break anything.
Mess with it. There's so many tutorials about how to start a basic system up. And then so what if you have to delete it because you screwed something up, and just re-download it. It's so, it's so easy to use. I mean, where we came into some glitches were again with audio, because audio always becomes the hardest thing out of everything. Yeah. And we were having some problems with audio. But the thing is, right now, if I would have had this Wave XLR or a Go XLR in my OBS, it would have been so much better. And then along with it, now you can bring up the chat in OBS from YouTube, which you couldn't do last year early.
Yep, that's true.
So now there's a lot of things. And then the next thing is now Video Ninja, which was really crappy, has improved so much again that the actual picture is really looking decent nowadays to bring in a guest. And so in the next couple weeks, I'm definitely, if not by this weekend, I'm going to do a stream advertising the Video Ninja to bring into StreamYard. I set everything up. I'm ready to go because I think it's worthwhile that people know about it again, And we did that stream like 8 months ago. So,
and another thing is, which of these apps really can you host on a phone with? Can you, right? We've had that discussion. Turned out StreamYard, I think you can actually do it. You can be a guest with any of these, I think. Not a problem, right? Because they're all browser-based. So if somebody sends you out a vMix, you can, or whatever, you can jump in there. So it's good stuff. But I'm looking so Sammy, you're so right. You use something, then you don't want to leave. Look, we put a lot of time into this tech, and unless it's not working for you, it's really difficult to jump out and say, I want to go learn something new. I want to make stuff. I don't want to, unless you're into the curiosity wonderment thing, I don't always want to have to be learning something new all the time. So, but and it's just whatever.
And our job is really to show options and for you to make the decisions. Right. And so I just don't want people, if you have a PC sitting at home and you're like, all you know is Ecamm, you don't have to get a Mac to run your system to your stream. Because here's the facts, right? You meet up with a group of people, they know one method to do something, and then all of a sudden they talk about that method and that's all they know. Yeah. What you really need to do is find people like us where we go over all of it, right? Yep. And then you can make the best decision. Until you know what your choices are, you're not making the best decision for what you're doing. And this is why even my stream earlier was with Elo. We were talking about not buying things twice. Jeff and me have made similar mistakes with lighting, especially. Jeff and I think we bought things like 3 times when it came to lighting, right?
We did, yeah. Yeah, there was some damage done on the lighting.
Okay.
There was some damage done on the lighting front. I'm not gonna lie to you. That it still stings a little bit. So to John's point, like that's kind of what I'm doing here. And I would not to get back onto this, but bear with me. So in breaking all this stuff down, why I want to do this is I want to, John's point, we want to be here to really talk about all this stuff. And I want to get invested in this. I want to get back. I know a lot about OBS, so I don't think it'll take that long to really do a simple thing on OBS, maybe next week. I can't really do much with Ecamm because I don't have a Mac. So that's a downer. Maybe I've got to bring somebody on for that down the road. But like vMix, we got that handled. StreamYard got it handled. But we need to go back because, again, updates. Where are they really at in the feature list? And Restream, I want to get into Restream and really get on Tommy's train and really get invested and find out. Because I want to do a little bit at the end. I'd like to do a stream where we do a little bit of knock up on these features. And I might want make sure Tommy's around for that because he knows a lot about it. So, we want to get invested because we really want to help people that might be looking. Look, and it does matter. Tommy needed some things that a lot of people don't need. He needed multi-streams. He wanted to combine those chats. Not a lot of people really want that, to be honest with you. But if it's something you think about, you better know where you're going. Jim, when a person gets used to a certain stream format, it is hard to change because they feel comfortable with like a certain brand of anything. Well, the other problem is we get hooked into the conditioning. We get our mouses set up a certain way, hooked into that, or we have a stream deck set up, or it's just where things are laid out. And to make a stream really smooth, it's just nice to know everything is. So if you're constantly moving around to different platforms, it's discerning. It's like, you know how it is when you drive in somebody else's car? You're like, I know it's the same car, but it feels different. The brakes are a little tighter. The gas takes a minute. The mirrors are always wrong. Somebody's seat's always a little too
because if you can use StreamYard, you can easily just go and use Melon, and you can use you can easily go use Restream. It is all that easy. But what it comes down to is not just staying with something that you're comfortable with. It's all you know.
It is true. Not like you can bop around with them. The truth of it is there are some different features, and so the question is, difference between features and being able to use something or different things. If you want to get a stream off and running, you should be able to do that pretty quick with any of them. But some have other features that some don't have, like talking about the music or the dark feature. I gotta tell you, I really hated how StreamYard was handling chat. I think they've done a pretty good job of firming that up a bit. It'll be fun to see. Noel, how you doing? Learning from you guys. Well, we appreciate that. We're learning from everybody that's here helping us out tonight.
Nice to see you, Noel.
I don't know. Is this the same information? So, Sammy, Restream is free for the RMTP. Yes, RMTP, and can do whatever you want. I think it's $49. Yeah, I believe it's $49 for the 1080 now, right this moment. I just looked at that today. So I think, of course, you're right on to that.
What's that other streaming application, FM something or something for podcasting or something?
Yeah,
they try to
I know
corner that little market.
Yeah, again, it's not on the tip of people's brains. But
if anybody knows that one,
they have to
drop that.
Use your Google, man.
I forget what it's called.
Come on, man. You can do it. You got the power. So he's not, Tommy's not paying for Restream. He's using it just for the RMTP. I mean, it's a great way to use it.
He just told me because I did not know that. I thought it was $16 a month to use that. So he just dropped some info that I didn't know.
I only knew that because I did the plan comparison the other day when I was setting this up.
Okay.
And I was shocked to see that the RMTP was free. So you could go ahead and multi-stream. That's fantastic. And then if you have vMix and you integrate it like he's doing, it's actually quite genius. But I want to get in the mix of it and use the actual web-based platform a little bit to see. And then I'll maybe back out, I don't know, and then just use it like Tommy's using it maybe for some things and see how that works. I don't know. vMix has pretty good application. I don't really need to, because I don't think I'm going to be like John. I'm probably not going to multi-stream out, but for what Tommy's doing, I think it's a pretty slick operation, honestly. Marie, Marie stopping in, say, hey, J.A. to Miss Lala, Aya, to Gigi, and Tina.
Hello.
How you doing? Thank you for stopping in. I don't know what time it is in your worlds, everybody, but thank you for stopping in. Captivate.
Yeah.
Is that a
Let us know in the chat.
Is that another
if
one?
you feel comfortable. Let us know where you're watching from.
Thank you. Yes.
I'm in New Jersey myself.
Yep.
So
I'm in the middle of the
30 miles outside of New York City.
Yeah, he's over there by the crazy people. I'm in the middle of the country where the nice people live. I'm kidding. Yeah, if we don't know a lot about you, Marie, if you're comfortable, let us know what you're doing. If you're a crafter, how you found us, how'd you find, maybe you found us through the Notion, or did you, let us know how you surfed on in here. That's always fun to know. You know what? I'll put it up there. Lala's always nice. Hi, Marie. If you're not subscribed to Jay and John, please do so. Speaking of that, John, look at this. Look what I got for you.
Oh, thank you, Lala.
I did a little deal here. Hang on. Where is it?
What's that?
Look at this. Look at this new thing at the bottom. Well, let me put us up. Let's move us up there for now. Hang on. Here we go. Maybe not. I got mouse problems. Be sure to check out and subscribe to John's channel.
Thank you.
Coffee Talk and Tech. Okay, so my next thing is I got to get my logo up. Now, my logo is just my initials, so it's not exciting like Coffee Talk and Tech, but I've got a little JAS thing.
I'm actually going to do a stream. I made this overlay in Canva, and you can you can make this overlay for free. You don't have to have Canva Pro.
No.
But you can use this combined with Photopea, and you can make your own overlays. So I did this myself, and I've always messed around with a little bit, but I'm getting better at getting more efficient at making my overlays.
Hey, that night, I don't know. You're going to do that on probably a separate stream. So what I should do is the week that you do that, I have acquired the 10 top, license-free like photographic websites like Upsplash and all those.
Oh, right.
So I've got the top 10 that I've been kind of combining, and maybe I should do a top 10 free commercial use, asset list. You want photos, graphics, videos, and stuff like that. I found some really, really good ones that I've used. A lot of us know some of the big ones, but there are a lot out there that people aren't aware of. And maybe that week that you do that, I'll follow that up with that. We can kind of help people out, kind of get them. It's fun stuff to do.
Thanks, Tina.
It's lunchtime.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 11 a.m. there. Okay.
It's almost lunchtime.
It's lunchtime. No. Jim says he's in PA, so it's not lunchtime.
Oh, cashews at Jim Boswell's. Wow.
I'm also watching from Jim Boswell's home. What's happening here? What's going on? What's happening? I don't understand.
Jim's having a party.
Jim, I didn't get the plane ticket invite. I thought that was the case, Marie. I didn't want to jump the gun, but you were a guest and talked about Notion. I'm a crafter, and I'm trying to learn more about Notion. Well, that's wonderful, and I think we're talking about doing something next month, an augmented thing. I've been working on a really cool dashboard for the Crafty Planner that Lala threw at me. It was a challenge, and I was able to create it, and I'm excited for it. So maybe we'll go through something like that on the next go around. So that'd be kind of fun. Smelly Turtle's in the house.
Sweet.
That's what you have to say. You have to say in the house, right? I hate that. I got to come up with something else. I don't like in the house. Smelly Turtle is crawled into the barn. Is that good?
What's up, Smelly Turtle?
I don't think crawled into the barn is as good as probably in the house, but dancing in the barn? I don't know. We'll come up with something.
Dancing turtles?
Dancing turtles? That's good. He's dancing in the house with his turtles. This is my first time seeing you flash this, J.A. What did I flash?
What did you flash?
What did I flash? What did I do?
J.A. flashed?
I don't know. I'm dressed. I didn't flash anything. I swear. I'm going to get demonetized, and I'm not even monetized yet. That's hilarious. Oh, you're here to learn. Thank you. We're just happy you jumped in here and talk. And so we were going over the basics of our platform options for streamings, which most of us have heard of them, know them. OBS, Ecamm, vMix, and then the web-based, which is StreamYard, Restream. They're your primaries. We know about Melon and all that, but we're going to stick with the basics. And next week, what do you think, John? I think next week I'm going to break out to the NDI a short little OBS, how we set it up. I'll set up a little webcam, and I'll be able to I'll show you, I'll build it in real time with you guys. And if you want to come in here and you have hey, how do you set up a scene like this, maybe I can do it right on the fly with you. I'm going to do this, by the way. I'm going to use this setup. One night, we're actually going to sit here and build a web page together using Elementor Builder. Really quick in WordPress. All free. I'm going to show you how to build a WordPress website free page in about 15 minutes or less for free. Very easy. Anybody can do it. We're going to do a little demo. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of fun. That's JA. What's this here? That's
Jay's
cool.
dashboard.
Dashboard. Yes, we're going to do some Notion dashboards. When I was there last time in the Lala, we built a crafty planner to plan out their craft planners with their videos or whatever they're doing. But there was a request for an actual dashboard to bring it all in and have weather and a jukebox and all the stuff laid out in one page. The up and coming, and I took that challenge and I made it, and I think that'd be a great one to get after. You know what? Thank you for dropping this. I use OBS and Caster. What's Caster? I mean, I get it. I get the play on words there, Caster, but I don't know it. You'd think I would.
It's like the same kind of type of thing, actually.
Yeah.
They multi-stream, and you could do.
It's interesting because there are so many of these little
pre-recorded
offshoots. There's so much of these little new offshoots. There's the Ustream. I saw probably 10. I'm like, I'm not loading all these on. I don't want to confuse people any more than I am, because if I start bringing in all of them. Thank you for telling me that, though. I will dip into Caster because, if you can use OBS and punch it out a certain way, I'd like to see what Caster's doing, what the price model is. Like, as John says, we're kind of here to make you aware and kind of learn ourselves. And the only way we're going to do that is get after it. We're going to have to learn. Who's this? Who's this bearded wonderland? Hey, Coffee Talk and Tech. I see we don't have a background. That makes sense. There's a wonderful beard going on
in here.
Hey, BGG, how you doing? Where are you coming from?
BGG.
Yeah, I said.
Are you
what did
down
I say?
with BGG?
I know. Now I'm going to do the whole New York.
You know me.
No, don't rhyme. That's awful. I'm wondering, BGG maybe came in off of some of the streams we're in recently. Drop a name, drop a site. Let us know. Might not be able to drop the link until afterwards. You may have 15,000 subs and don't need me to sub, but you know what? I'd love to know what your site is. I bet it's BGG.
He's friends with Ken.
Of course he is.
And I know him from Instagram.
Oh, the Instagram. Yeah. All the Instagram. Powerful stuff. Instagram. Tina says, I'm still giving OBS a try. Good on you for giving it a try. There's a lot to learn in OBS. OBS is powerful. I actually like playing in OBS. It's stable as all get out. I'd like to play a little bit more with the NDI because they had done some updating on that. When I tried it a year ago, not that many people are going to use that, it really wasn't. It was okay. It's not as good as the vMix. By the way, my laptop that I have coming into my Cat 5 through NDI is actually hooked up, wire, and as fast as that Wi-Fi was, I got almost instant stuff going on here. It's almost like adding another computer instantly to everything. It's wonderful. So the lag is really pretty awesome. Oh, the ticker. Yeah. The ticker. Yeah, I've had the tickers up. Here, let's put another one up there. YouTubers and tech newbies. Okay. Yeah, we encourage everybody to ask questions. Ask away. Doesn't matter what the question is. If it's simple as, hey, what light bulb do you use? To as complex as comparing cameras, we're here. And if we don't know, we're going to find out together. It's not about us knowing everything, but it's about us kind of finding solutions. And if you have any problems too, I mean, look, talk to John and I. John crawled over monetization a while ago. I'm chasing it, but I'm more or less just trying to chase my channel and my branding. And like you guys, I'm all new to this, and I have my struggles. Yeah. So if you're finding yourself struggling a little bit, let me know. I've been doing a lot of reading lately on the subject and trying to practice that. And, here we go.
I picked up a couple small consultation jobs, actually, believe it or not.
Really?
So, yeah.
Fantastic.
So that's really good because I like that. It's, people want to know what they need to get to a certain level a lot of times. So instead of them making the mistakes or wasting their money, then it's like a little consultation to figure out what they actually need. And it's always
like a lot of times it's a nibble. It's like that one little thing that's just messing me up. And that's great. I like that. like that.
But I need to get my stuff in order. I'm a little behind because this is kind of like just coming together. And then I had someone else ask me today, actually, and I don't have anything set in stone. And really, because
you stripe. I have a stripe account you can have.
Stripe. I'm not talking about just how to get paid. But
I know. I'm messing with
my worth and what I should do.
I know what you
and
mean.
how I should approach it. So I'm gonna put some stuff together.
Come on.
And
let me work with you. I'll help you get an LLC together. We'll fire it up. We'll get moving. I've done 20 of those. Get it going. Get you on an accounting program. We're moving. We're gonna do it. It's really not hard, but it's one of those things until you do it. Bread product reviews and tips and tricks live streams. YouTube. Awesome. Excellent. Thanks for stopping in. That'll be fun to check out. He just hit over 1,000 subs about a month ago.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations. I bet that just was a great milestone for you. We all know that's a grind. Awesome to see. Rodrigo says, hey, I just got past the 500 mark. But community tab gets a bit shady and people don't really interact so much yet. What's your take on the community tab? What's your take on the community tab?
I don't know. People get really excited when they get it, I guess, because it's a milestone.
I know.
But I like it because my biggest benefit is I like to share out some things for the people I'm fond of, for the people that have supported me. And so sharing out a stream that you're doing or Lala's doing or that Ken may be doing is my important thing.
I think that
because
I noticed that.
And like, a little interactive,
I think, if you look at it that way, like what you can use to give, that's wonderful. Like, it's really nice that you can put that out there for people and kind of help other people. Right. I think it's a feel good thing. As far as the return on just doing what you're doing in polls, I don't know. I suppose there's positive stuff to it, but I mean,
when I was out with when I was sick a little bit, I had like 40 something people. I posted a picture up and I just told everybody what was going on, why I was kind of laying low. Yeah. And 40 something people responded. That was really awesome.
That's a good number.
That kind of community touch where I just sent a personal picture out of my family and this is what's going on. And I think that's a nice way to make a connection that people don't get to see, like a personal picture of my family. So
did you put a personal picture of me out and you're like, avoid at all costs this clown? So I did read it.
This is where I am on Tuesdays.
I did read it as bread, and then my mind went, that's weird. I guess he's just a beard guy who's doing bread stuff.
Bread reviews.
I didn't want to say, well, I'm like, I wanted to say something. I'm like, but you just wait. People will fix it. They'll fix it in post. I meant beard product reviews, dang typo. Oh, don't blame. He was probably voice text too. Don't blame.
Well, if he's like me, my fingers always get in the way. I'm like watching from work and I might type something on Lala's stream and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta stop just using my fingers.
But you know what the worst is? I put one of those really fat, fandangled, thick overlays on my screen, and it's like it never types right because it's so thick. I got to get a new cover for that. It drives me crazy. When you get the new phone and you're swiping, you never make a mistake, and then you have to put a little screen thing on it, and then it's desensitized a little bit. So I went to the voice thing, which works really good now as opposed to whenever. But sometimes you just got to use the fingers, and sometimes I type things and I'm like, oh, I should have really spell checked that. That's embarrassing.
Right.
Good Lord.
Right. Find out how really bad of a speller I am.
Ooh, no, you're not. That was autocorrect.
Oh, I am.
No, you're not. That's autocorrect. I
am a bad speller.
No, you're great.
I'll tell you that.
Autocorrect's messing you up, making a fool out of you, John. Oh, Patrick.
Hey, Patrick.
Whatever,
what's
late,
going on, man?
Never late. Not here, my friend. How you doing?
No.
Oh, we're glad you caught us. We're not going to stay real long tonight, but you know what?
This is our good buddy, Everyday Tech.
He is. Patrick, what is your go-to streaming platform? What is he using?
Oh, Patrick is the best, bro. You know what he's using?
What I know he's got some. Yeah. What?
Yeah, that's nobody. He got his A10 Mini, and he's going to just stream straight out.
That's right.
Yeah, he's brilliant, and that's what I like.
Does he get it all in his pie?
This is why.
Is he doing it off his pie?
This is why. No, I don't think he's doing it off his pie, but he uses his pies for different things. But,
I know, man. I just wanted to say pie.
Just the fact that the guy from Just Hit Record, or no, Go Record. Well, it's this guy from Sweden that Patrick and I both watch.
Okay.
He does a lot of work with the A10 Mini products, and you can do overlays and put the chat in through what this guy's developing. And so Patrick is using a lot of that stuff, and it's really cool that, because he's smart, he's going to figure it out, and he's not going to have to pay anything.
Well, if you can not pay anything, it's great, because we are getting nickel and dime from DCMA Music to, Streamline monthlies to Canvas and it goes on and on, which is why I need Stripe to get off its collective butt, what's the collective ass, and give me my money. John, will you go to Stripe's? Will you go to Stripe's door and knock, and be like the strong arm for me?
Yeah, I'm gonna knock your stripes off. Ooh. So if you don't pay us our money,
that's good. I mean, if you're Stripe, that should be scary to have your stripes knocked off. Right. John would. Lala says John would always. John would always come in. And he does that for a lot of people. Play in the background, help people get some hours and just to visit and be present and energy. John's always been and Lala, you've done that too, and I always appreciate that. Another pie coming out tomorrow. He's cooking a lot of pies lately. It's good.
Nice.
People love that stuff, man. It's fun. Here to record. Okay, I think this is what he used. That's the channel. Here to record.
That's the channel. That's the correct name. And the guy's he's a really nice guy. And if you never checked it out, but it's nichey, for me and Patrick may like it. I think the majority, it's not their type of thing, but I like it.
You kind of need those channels that kind of get outside, where it's like you're there for entertainment. Really, you get a little knowledge, which is cool, but you're really almost there to kind of just like, it's kind of like my thing. I just want to see what's going on. A little bit different. You need to kind of tuck into places and get your brain out of there. We had this conversation. We had a stream with Jay Cruz and Ken on Saturday, which was a lot of fun. We did that on Ken, the content creator. Yeah, it was wonderful, and thank you for having us. That was Saturday. It was a lot of fun. We talked about that a little bit.
Ken, the content creator.
Yep.
And Healthy Bearded was
Jay Cruz. Wonderful guys, and so it was a lot of fun. And there was a lot of information on that stream, honestly. Going back and looking at it.
It was awesome.
It was wonderful. And, but we kind of touched on some of that stuff, and, the overload a little bit, like how much do you take in? There are phases where you want to take everything in, and you're taking for information, you're taking it for education, entertainment. Got to really pace yourself though. Like Instagram is one of those where they really are good with the algorithm, and all I get are content creators and drummers. And I have to tell you, I want to be good at both. But you can only take so much of that. It's just a constant barragement of stuff. And while it's great, it can weigh on you if you're feeling a little bit down about maybe I'm not creating as much, or I'm trying to create but not fast enough, or whatever life is getting in the way. It can kind of sometimes get into your psyche. You have to be careful about that, because you start to bleed into what they're doing as opposed to what you should be doing. It's an interesting thing. And I've heard a lot of creators I've been reading lately saying they had to put that Instagram logo on like the third home screen. They had to get it away in order to really be productive, because they would just go there and it was just mind numbing them. But Patrick, thank you. That was a lot of fun. Oh, Vinny.
There's a lot of facets to everything that we're into. But the thing is,
you missed
like
everything.
J.A. said, is like when we did that stream with Ken and Jay Cruz, like, we've talked about all that stuff for hours and hours, and looking through what you do and what you need to get to one place, and then realizing that you need to reevaluate is really going to be a strong asset for anybody that's in this game. Don't have to stick to the same game plan, especially if you're becoming unhappy with it. This is something I think I see Tommy a lot of times, and he's like, I'm chugging ahead, and I understand it. There's not anyone that doesn't, right? And you're like wondering if this is where you want to be or what you want to achieve. And then we're our own worst critic on top of it, but we can always pivot a little bit and change things up and learn something new. So don't be afraid if something's not working for you, that you make a little change. It doesn't mean run away from something that's hard. I'm not saying that. I'm saying evaluate, analyze, make changes?
It's very similar to the discussion we had when we transitioned out of your Thursday night streams. That was a discussion that was had.
Yeah.
Nobody made a quick decision, but we had a lot of conversation, and it was the right decision. However, and when that was done, I thought, oh, this or that, and then I realized that opened up a different thing for me. And these transitions are hard, but if they're made for the right reasons, they're going to be good for you. You just got, like John says, you got to get through it, but there's a lot going on here, right? And that's a good point.
Yeah.
Patrick, it was weird. None of my chat messages were going through today on Dr. Elo stream, so I had to use my other account to chat with Elo and John. Has that happened to you guys?
Yeah. It happened to me the week before because he started using Nightbot, and I don't think he's made the changes still because if it happened to you again today.
Sure.
So the week before, I couldn't post anything also, Patrick. And so I let him know. I sent him a message like, what's up, man? And then and he's like, oh, I changed some stuff with Nightbot, and he may have not changed them yet. So that's
Nightbot can just ruin your night. I mean, literally can ruin your night. You know what, Cashew, thank you so much. And, you know, we just have to do our weekly stop to say, Cashew, you're a gem. John and I both think the world of you, and so did everybody pretty much here. Thank you for making the streams smooth and fun and dropping these things. And yes, look, John and I really don't spend a lot of time asking for likes or subs and things like that. We just want to give the information, but you know, it does matter. And it does more so on a spiritual energy level. I don't really care so much about the algorithms, but we do appreciate that. You guys have been really strong with likes, and I just want to say thank you. I mean, I'm not begging for likes. I'm just saying it's been appreciated. You guys have always been really strong about that. Big deal to us. So, Rodrigo hitting on that. Whenever I find time to rest, that's when I feel finally time to actually create. So I take this active resting path. I think that's good. I mean, bottom line is the most creative thing you're going to do is to step away. I'm running into all sorts of interesting people talking, some really smart people, and really it's resonating with me on a lot of this stuff. And I'm going to get into eventually some stuff. I want to stay with the basics for a while, but as my channel moving forward, I'm going to be a guy that really talks about
to yourself.
Huh? What's that?
Part of it's listening to yourself too, you know.
That's tough.
Like, you know what's best for you, and don't be afraid if it's you know, I've gone through it. Like when people say, "Oh, how can you be everywhere? How can you do this? And how can you do?" And we've had other people that have done that. Like Marcus would show up everywhere. Right? Mm-hmm. Our friend, and he would be in everybody's stream. Yeah. I was so gung ho to meet more people, to meet more streamers, to meet more things. You can't keep up that pace. And I didn't even know myself how burnt I was getting. And I think I'm still recovering to tell you, because then I got COVID, and then I was just still recovering from all that. I did
less than you, and I was still burnt out. And I think because I've always felt like I'm catching up too. John was always ahead videos. John was always ahead. And I'm not putting this on John. I'm just saying that I always saw myself as being behind, and I put that pressure to try to catch up all the time. And to John's point,
I didn't know that.
Well, I don't know that I really saw it until we stepped back from the Thursdays and had time to really assess. And I went, whoa,
okay.
You know, I didn't realize how much energy I was putting into certain things that were outside of what I probably needed to do or what I thought to do. And maybe I thought, I mean, you know, again, all that's on me. I'm accountable for my own actions, but sometimes you just lose sight of that. Like, it's just what happens, and it's okay. But as I look at it now, like little things, I'm a person who has a monkey brain. It's just the way it is. It's everywhere. I don't know if it's ADHD. I don't know. A lot of drummers do have ADHD, though. I'm serious. It's a thing. They have anxiety and they have ADHD and depression.
A lot of people do.
They do, but drummers have a high rate of it.
Do they?
Which is why drumming is good for them, honestly. But
do you think Animal from the Muppets had it?
He was completely sane. He was as relaxed as anybody ever was. I don't know. He obviously did have ADHD. I also think he had a cocaine problem, and I think he bathed in fentanyl.
Right. Well, he's a lot more sane than I am.
I forgot the guy's name. That the drummer for Animal was renowned in the drumming community. He was a wonderful drummer. That's the whole other joke. He was great. A big deal in the drumming community, and he did a lot of like Broadway shows and things like that. So he was just a fantastic drummer.
My main thing is thinking thinking that you
ADHD.
you know, you can keep up this pace and you're in it and you're in the zone and you're trying to achieve goals, in the long run,
That is a blessing.
I didn't even realize, because I love streaming so much, I didn't realize that it's like,
Hey, Marlene.
you kind of put all your eggs in that basket. Hi, Mom. How you doing? If you kind of put all those eggs in that basket, it's not going to allow you to really to grow as much as you should. And
Yeah.
the videos
Kinda
by
like the stock
far
market.
is going to help you grow a lot more than your streaming is. And we've
It is.
talked about this a million times. And it's just about,
We haven't talked about it a
I
lot
have to get out of
publicly.
my comfort zone.
We haven't. I mean, we've talked about it a lot in private.
Well, we
We've
did-
touched on it in
Yeah.
public.
We talked Saturday about it.
Yeah, but we haven't here. I
but
could get into hours of that, and someday maybe we should.
Yeah.
I think people would be shocked about what we think about it. But we love streaming, so that's not an issue. And there's a balance, and that's
Here-
what Tina's saying here is absolutely true. Find your balance. Go ahead, John. Finish it.
We have Brian, right? Our good friend Brian, and I remember like a couple months, and I was talking about like, you got to do what's right for you. If you find yourself like watching everybody else's stream and you can't get your stuff done, and if you're out there doing all these things involved with everybody else's stuff, and you're not getting your stuff done, you got to look at yourself and say,
Always.
why am I doing this?
Yeah.
What, you know, how? And then Brian was like, does that mean I shouldn't watch your stream? Yo, maybe if you're not getting something out of it, then no. So, but on the flip side, when I have many people that have stopped in here still after 8 months don't know how to set their ISO on their camera, then you're not watching the stream and you're not utilizing what was given to you in free information here. And
Yeah.
you know, that's another thing in itself. And there both is a balance, but you have to learn, and I still am learning, and Jeff is too, is where to put our energy, where is it going to be most effective for our YouTube channel and our community too.
Absolutely. And what we realized, it's probably not 2 days a week, 3 hours a stream. We need to make videos and balance that out and build the community. And there's a whole model for that. I think a lot of us know that. It can bore some people. And for some people, I think maybe for some people who've not really streamed, I think they might be shocked about what we think about streaming in some of the respects. I love streaming. I mean, I would do it all the time, but the problem is it's not going to achieve the goal that I need. So we got to pull back on that a little bit, but you know, we'll keep it up. We got some things going on. Yeah. The balance, but you know, to your point, you got to take ownership of it. And what happens too is, like, if you're someone like me who is a procrastinator, to say you do have attention issues. And when I say that, it's not like I just have a lot of opportunities and things I want to do. You know, I want to practice music. I want to build people's websites. I want to, you know, productivity. I want to do web videos. I want to do this. I want to do that. There's so much at our fingertips, and I'm always wanting to do stuff. I love to learn. At the end of the day, I realize I'm like, oh, okay. Well, probably what happened was I love to learn so much. And then all those months with you streaming, I found really great excuses to learn that felt my dopamine. And I created excuses of procrastination by, I have to learn. I have to keep up. So you start making excuses. I have to keep up. You don't. I have to get more stuff. I have to learn vMix more. You know what I'm saying? And so the excuse is I have to learn. No, I wanted to learn. I enjoy that. But I wasn't attending to my stuff that was harder for me, which was making videos or stuff like that, right? So you do have to figure that out, and you have to take ownership of your faults. and then you figure that out. And there's a way. I'm going to do, I don't know, I shouldn't probably call this out, but I read a great article recently. And we talk about doing a little bit every day. And this cat really hit me. He's a writer, but you can use it for anything. I kind of want to I want to try to not vlog it, but like a 30-day, 1 hour a day creative mode, and see what that does for me. Like do an hour. Doesn't matter what it is. If you can do more than an hour, great. But like, what we do, and you know this, if I can't do 3 hours, what's the point of doing an hour? That happens a lot. I'm going to try to do that. It could be setup of writing notes. It could be research. It could be actually doing the recording. But what happens if you do that? What happens if you do something an hour every day? And it seems so easy for some people, but there are a lot of people like me, it's not. There are a lot of people like me that feels like if you're not doing it all, it's too little. So, or I find reasons not to do it. So I might want to try to do that. I think a 30-day thing would be really interesting to see if that affects me. I'm sure it would. anytime you do something 30 days in a row, and I know people do that. Well, just push the button, one time, do the Christmas vlogging thing. It's fine. But I'm going to be honest with you about that. If you watch those 30-day Christmas vlogs, by 3 days in, people are just like, here's my cat. I pushed a button. I went 10 seconds and then they're done. They're not really creating. Now you're just doing something because you feel you have to do it, like homework. And you're not really pushing a larger project. And I don't think you learn as much when you're just kind of dancing around the sandbox. I think if you have a real project, you're always going to learn more if you try to build something that's real for your cause. That's my 2 cents. That was my sermon for the moment.
I agree with that. That's for sure. And that's where you can get lost in the wind a little bit with everything. And it's not that you don't want to support every single person that you're a fan of, but it's just not physically possible.
It's not. I mean, we've talked about you want to support everybody in the world, right? But it is not physically possible. And if you're underwater, sometimes you just got to make those choices for a while and say, I want to support, I'll do the best I can. And we just love the people that are doing that, because anytime that I see people in here, I know that they're doing this and probably not something else that they could do. And so that always amazes me. Lala says, oh, by the way, John and Jay finally got the Canon M50 not to shut off after 30 minutes. You learned, you did it. You've overcome. That was a long time in coming.
But
it's great.
It was nothing what she says, but I don't think it was the capture card. I think it's Ecamm. But
think so?
Well, yeah. Well, she says that's the capture card was overriding the capabilities of the Canon. I don't think that makes. I don't think that would really can happen.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's a struggle that we're all going through. I agree. I know you're referring to the Lala comment, and it's true. And some days it's worse than others. Some weeks are worse than others, right? We all just trying to balance it out. We're just trying to figure it out. That's okay. Nobody should have to apologize. My balance is creating until I'm happy with the result and then chilling. But that's not really a balance for most people. I have a worker's routine right now. But that's not my true nature. We try to really fit a lot of square pegs in a round hole. And so some of the takes are, we go through phases during the day where we're better at creativity, we're better at mindless tasks and stuff. So the big thing now is to try to be more aware of where your brain currently sits in these 4 phases. And then try to apply yourself to something that fits the phase, as opposed to trying to fit a phase into a function that will not work. It's like anxiety. If you ever had anxiety, the first thing to tell you is, if you fight anxiety, you know what you get? You get more anxiety. It's because you're fighting against it. So anytime you do that, that's a mistake. That's why they tell you to flow and accept and absorb it. But yeah, you can't take a phase that you're out of sync with, or something you're trying to do, and think that is going to work out. Because what you're actually going to do, let's say you've got a video up, but you're really not in the creative phase because your mind's bouncing around, monkeying. You're just going to sit there and procrastinate and probably look at the screen for about an hour and not do a whole lot. And you're going to be miserable. So there's a thing about trying to be awareness. This is something that I'm researching, and I hope that I can convey a little bit better down the road. But there are 4 phases to that, and there are ways to deal with it very simply to adjust that. And so, those are things that I'm going to try to apply.
I think a lot of people, I think that's great information. And I think a lot of people in general live their lives not what was intended.
I agree.
And so our creative juices are shut down as adults in a lot of ways. And
for so many ways,
get to be able to express ourselves in a lot of different ways, which causes a lot of problems, because when you're young and you can express yourself and you can be that kid and try different things, it seems like your happiness goes out the window when all the responsibilities of life come on you. And this is why other cultures this is where you can learn so much stuff from other cultures, because when it comes to American culture, we're the worst at that. We stifle. Really are. And Japan is right there too. I mean,
we throttle the joy out of the kids through our conditioning and our parenting too often. There's some great parents who don't do that, but for the most part, we start cornering our kids to a point where they wake up and they're 30 years old and I'm nothing against being an accountant or whatever, but that shouldn't have to define you. And then we're afraid to pivot out of that. Well, what are people going to think? What are my peers going to think? And then it's very hard.
It's not even just that.
No, it's
It
not.
could
But
be
it's
as
part.
simple as paying your bills, right? Like,
Oh.
I have to do this because I have a family and I made some mistakes and I know that I just need to pay the bills.
Yeah.
And then you lose yourself in
Oh,
everything.
you're right.
And
Yes, you're right.
It takes
You're
some
right.
digging out to find that.
It starts to taint. It starts to get into that psyche, and it digs in pretty deep. You know, and you said something about creativity in adults, and this was part of the stuff that I've been finding in research. And they talked about that. I brought that 1 hour, do 1 hour creativity, and they're like, the point to them was, do you realize that if you look at 80% or more of the people won't even make or do anything creative of 1 hour a day. Now they are purchasing creativity, they are consuming the creativity, but they're not enjoying the act of making something creative. It's actually quite sad. And so if you can go out there and put that hour in a day, you are going to see some benefits. Be okay with that, right? So that's just something that I'm having to be aware of and work through myself. But I'm not alone. There are a lot of people probably here who are like that. A lot of people everywhere who are like that. And you know why? Because they are paying bills, because their kid is sick, because COVID is sucking the life out of them from work and the household and on and on. And then we're like, oh my God, I got, then what?
Right.
Then what?
On and on from the
on
break of
and
dawn.
on. And it's very difficult then. And then you sit down and you go, okay, I'm going to be creative. Your mind's not there. But there's a point where your mind will be there. Some people, it's a different time. And then it's hard because then if you work, you're locked into a certain amount of hours that you have to go to a job and home, and you are locked into fewer opportunities to be creative. And that is a whole nother stress.
Oh, it's no doubt.
Now,
No doubt.
I work probably more than most people a day in hours, but realistically, I can shift shape most of my hours. There are some client meetings I have to hold at certain times. But the truth of it is, I can be a little bit more fluid. And someone like John's got it. He's fixed. It's a lot harder for him to go, how many hours do I have in a day to fold into a phase that's going to work out for me? I can appreciate that. That's a much tougher deal. Nose picking.
You can hear me still or no?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, good. I'm getting rid of this mic for a little bit.
You're going to go overhead? You're going to do the...
Yeah, I'm going overhead just to see how it sounds later so I can analyze it a little bit.
Sounds a little more distant for me right now for some reason. Not terrible.
Well, it should be.
It should be. Okay. I think it was just because my ears got burned into what we were doing. I'm missing some people here. I want to just catch up. TH2.
Sure.
Back up on there a little bit. I don't know if I ever want to do the videos, and that's fine. Do you enjoy watching video? Like, are you somebody who truly enjoys YouTube as a creative thing, or are you just more like, hey, if something and there's no right or wrong answer. I'm just curious about habits.
Right.
I believe you moderate, so that might be that's a whole nother skill set. Tommy, Vlogmas for the most part just destroys people's souls and channels making relevant content. Tommy, I don't know if you know this, but Tommy, he holds back a lot. Tommy's like John. They hold back. They don't really say what they want to say. I can't even say that. I agree, though. He's right 1,000%, though. I wish people would stop doing the Vlogmas stuff. And I'll tell you right, because it does hurt the channel in the end. And I've watched a few people this past Christmas do it, and you can see their souls leave their bodies about 4 or 5 days in.
Oh, my God.
You can see it, and a lot of them quit. Now, I respect doing it. What I'm saying is, how about we just turn it into your 30 days of doing something creative for you for a real project? And because if you have to rely really on hitting your phone and go and put your cat up, you're probably not really helping that's not going to really help you. You're still going to be left 30 days later trying to figure out your content and getting past the sticking point of making your own content, right? Aren't you? Tell me I'm wrong.
But I think that is like a little bit of the reason why we were streaming so much was to get to learn everything. We kept on doing so much.
It was about that.
And we kept on learning everything. And it was almost worth it to do what we did versus, having almost nobody show up for your streams for 30 days straight. That kind of everything looks awkward and disconjointed. I mean, just spend more time doing the streams yourself. And I think in the long run, but here's the truth of the matter is every time people are doing things like this, they're trying to sell something on the back end too. And that's the truth of the matter. So the
people that are doing it,
I know.
the people
You
that are
didn't want
selling
me to say that part?
No. there's no bullshit here. I mean, I seriously, like, I'm kind of past that. Like, at some point, let's just be honest about some of this. Like, I feel like people feel a little bit of peer pressure into doing it from some organizations who sell this as an idea. And quite honestly, I don't see it as a great idea. Like, I really think, no, man, like, and maybe I'm wrong to say it, but I just feel like, hey, if you're going to spend 30 days doing something, because it takes them about an hour to really do their little Vlogmas a day, even if you're doing like a 10-minute, 5-minute, spend that 15, 20 minutes writing on paper an idea, cultivate an idea for a video, shape it out, set up a shot, one shot, do something for yourself.
I also think it's a good idea to maybe do it before you have your channel, you know?
Okay, that's
or
fine, because
do it on a channel
that's fine.
Yeah. Use
That's
it as
different.
practice. That's kind of different.
Okay, there's nothing. Yeah, okay. If we're talking about like you're just kind of zipping out for the first time and you have nothing to lose on the channel, you're not wrong. Like if you've done nothing, you have nothing in your mind. Okay, there's always nuance to these discussions.
Yeah.
That's true. But if you're a year into your channel, maybe, and you have done some things, I don't see how that's a value personally. I think you're getting caught up in wasting your time.
If I was an active, channel.
If you're active
with
at all,
a decent amount of subscribers, I would.
Like Shay, don't do the 30 days. Don't do the Vlogmas, okay? If you're gonna, I mean, you could do 30 days of how you're drinking vodka. I'll be in with you on that, but we're still gonna have a good stream. But she's streaming
enough.
She is, yeah.
Where she's learning what she's doing, you know.
Yeah, and again, there's a difference between streaming and recorded videos, and that's a whole different animal, right?
Here's the thing. This is how I evaluate different people. When you're looking at them, and then 2 or 3 months later, you look at the differences and they're making improvements.
Yeah,
I have seen numerous people who wanted to stream 3 days a week and they're getting worse, or they're just dead even for what they were for 3 months. And then you see someone like Shay, or you see someone like Don, or you see someone, I don't know, a million people that I know that are making huge improvements. The little improvements. And I know they're serious about.
And you know damn well that they are absolutely on their own time, sitting there in the dark by themselves, figuring something new out. They have to, because that's how that and that's why I respect it, because it's not easy. It's not easy to be down in a dark studio by yourself at 2 a.m. when you're tired, you know you got work to do, and you whatever. We all do it. And I know a lot of people in here are doing it. Okay, it's not just you and I, right? We know this. And I just about everybody I've seen in here that I know is content creating, I know they're doing it, because you see the little improvements. You're like, holy crap, you know? I need to do better, but I know I'm putting some effort along the way. I'm not going out and Vlogmas and putting my dog up on there. Although, I'd like to.
Listen, I mean, it's no secret that I want that kind of growth. So why wouldn't I surround myself with those types of people? Like, I want that growth. Sure. I want people to have that growth. And so it's not a no-brainer.
I agree. Yeah, Jeff, resistance brings more resistance. Yes, if anybody out there has anxiety, and I have horrible anxiety, it's better now. I manage it. But I would tell you, yes, first rule of thumb, if you have anxiety attacks, don't fight anxiety attacks. Let it flow through you. It feels weird and counterintuitive, but if you fight anxiety, no. Best way is to think of the power now as a great explanation of it. Other people talked about it. The idea of laying on your bed, on your back, hands out, could be on the ground, doesn't matter, and literally just feel gravity suck through you. Let it just come. Now I'm telling you, your anxiety will be gone in no time, but don't fight it. That's my 2 cents. My anxiety fight.
That's the part of what I was saying earlier, which is listen to your body and listen to yourself.
Good point. Yeah.
And that's part of it. That's part of everything. And so, once you start pushing yourself to that limit, you get burnt out, and then you take a huge dip. It's not worth it. It's better off to be kind of consistent and keep that path moving.
What is Rodrigo saying here? Funny, John mentions this being related to being an adult, because I just heard, but that's adult life after all, just today, huh? Yeah, that's the adult's life. There's an adult's life, but you know what? We don't have to abide by that condition. I think that's an artificial wall that we can all fight against, I think. Jens.
I mean,
yo.
Hi, Jen.
How you doing, Jen? Nice to see you in your multiverse. So you're basically, Jen, in everybody's universe. I love that. It is a necessary habit, Jim.
Here's the thing. Like I see Lala talking about analytics and talking about things dropping down right now. But there's many people that have been talking about streaming and the bigger YouTubers and how streaming is right now. I mean, Jeff, you looked into this more when I mentioned it, is that you saw the reaction of a lot of popular streamers and bigger streamers where it's flooded. Like the market is flooded. People have taken in a lot of streaming, and there's actually a little decline on the watching of streams and it doesn't mean for everybody, because every circumstance is different.
Yeah, different topics draw different people. Hey, look, like anything, numbers are always a finicky thing. And maybe next week I want to talk about it, but I was going to tell you, take a look at the music industry. And just to throw that at you, do you realize the largest growing or sales markets no longer is new music? It's actually older music. If you look right now, things from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, nobody in new development is wanting new music. And there's a variety of reasons this is going on, and it has a lot of people terrified. And I would love to have that conversation with our creators, but I want to do that when I want John to have a heads up on that. I want to talk. But to John, your point there, some of the problems are burnout. Some of the problems are, just flooded market, white noise. And the other one is user habits are finicky. And so, look, when COVID hit, we all knew people jumped heavily into YouTube for a variety of reasons. But one of the biggest things that happened when we started getting isolated, TV and streaming were not giving us a shared experience anymore. And so YouTube live streams in particular became the go-to shared experience. We could go hang with people in real time on subjects that we have a shared interest in. That was calming. Absolutely. It gave us a lifeline in a world where the boats all seemed to be sinking. So mentally that was healthy for us. However, as we all know, as things start to uncork, we get used to things and things start to trickle back to normal. When that goes away, people return usually to their default habits, which is usually streaming, going outside, doing other things. So the question is going to be, we pushed a lot of people into the supply chain. What happens when the demand chain starts getting wacky? And so that's just human nature. That doesn't mean it's not going to flow back, because things will start to drive, like the stock market, up and down. So streaming is here to stay. Streaming is going to grow and things are going to go well, but you better be prepared for dips. You better be prepared for things not to be consistent or a straight line trajectory, or you're going to be miserable.
And it doesn't mean, that we don't think that streaming is going to be one of the biggest things this up and coming year still, which it will be, especially for YouTube. Yeah. And we talked about this on Saturday a little bit, which was just seeing where YouTube takes streaming and relatability for the creators that are monetized, and how and how those videos get shown in comparison in the algorithms versus recorded stuff, and if that changes at all.
There's some interesting nuggets to talk about. John and I are gonna have some. We're gonna do a stream on this. Cashew, TH2, and Nose Pickens. I know this for a fact because I've seen this. Are highly skilled moderators. All three of you are actually very highly skilled moderators. Their level of observation and swift response to provide security and also a sense of community continuity among a huge number of channels is incredible. We don't. I don't wonder sometimes if the YouTube community in general really thinks about moderators. I think a lot of people don't have the fortunate access to wonderful moderators that we've run into. It seems like they travel in groups a little bit in their own peer network. But there are people out there who really pride themselves on doing this kind of work and helping channels out. And I've seen it. I've been in a few of these channels that were a little bit dicey, and I've seen things go sideways. And I've also seen moderators swoop in who handle that very well and without making a complete nightmare out of it. Because you can't fight bazookas with bazookas and think that's going to work out. And so you have to balance some things out, or you'll destroy a stream, maybe for a long time. So it is a wonderful skill. And I just want to thank, Cashew, obviously, but TH2 has been in here, and Nose Pickens, all of you have been wonderful. And I think as general YouTube community, not even just our community, it is a big deal. Look, I hope you're not, Lala, I did Vlogmas and I just did it for experience. Look, if you want to do it, then there's no problem. I just know there's a lot of people who I think, didn't know what to do. And then they got, I want to say pressured, but they kind of bought into the idea that if I do Vlogmas, this is going to straighten me out. And you know what? Almost all those people that had those issues, their channels are really not existing anymore, or they're just not doing anything with those channels anymore, I've noticed. Yeah. It didn't fix the problem. So, if you're looking for experience and your expectations, if your expectation is it's going to just give me experience, you can't lose because it's going to give you experience. So that's great.
She streams hours and hours a week. So I really would like to know, what experience did you gain by doing it? Unless you did something outside of the box from what you normally do, and maybe you did. I saw you talking about like your birthday party and how you set up things from a different room, and I can understand that. But I'm just saying, like, really, in the streaming aspect, what did you learn by doing Vlogmas? I just want to know.
No, it's a good question because it's good to know, and I'm not besmirching you because again, if you did it, if your expectation is experience, you're going to get experience. Now John's countering that, so John and I are in counterpoint, and his counterpoint's going to be, yeah, you got experience, but you're already really experienced in Lala's case, right? So, like, I would gain. You could almost teach this.
That's the way I look at it. So.
Yeah, the analytics dipped after because I think YouTube wanted me to go live daily after it. So when I got back to my 3 times a week streaming, the analytics dipped. This is the danger that Tommy, and let me tell you, Tommy's seen this. Tommy will cut off his own nose to spite his own nose. But he knows these analytics really well, what's going to happen. When he says, go ahead, Vlogmas, and you have an existing channel, probably going to hurt yourself. And I think beyond that, you hurt opportunity. There's an opportunity cost there. You could have been doing something more beneficial for your channel. Oh, I didn't know what to do. I get it. Come here. Let's talk. Because I've been there, John's been there. Yeah. Let's figure it out, man. Let's figure it out because there's always something to do.
When it comes to you and I, Jeff, that we've been doing our live stream so much, I think we're going to have a difficult time for maybe some of our videos to really pick up traction until we become more consistent with releasing the videos.
You're not wrong. I think it's exactly what's going to happen. And I gotta tell you, there's been some weird. You don't know sometimes with the analytics what is the dog and what's the tail. But I've noticed, I had my Gold XLR video was doing pretty well, and if you look at the analytics after we stopped Thursday streaming, I've had a precipitous dip in conjunction with that. So is YouTube confused along the line here? I don't know. Like, I can't tell you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's been interesting. So, just saying. Shay says, I'll never do Vlogmas. You know what?
Look at my analytics. How do you think my analytics look?
like a damn earthquake.
Drop like a rock.
Drop like a rock. I think mine did too. Shay says, I'll never do. You know what, Shay? I can't see you doing Vlogmas. But I can see you doing, hey, man, let's do 10 days of rum with Jeffrey on a live. Yeah, we could do that. But again, it starts to skew things. Like, what is the end game here? If it's just fun and experience, fine, then you gained what you wanted to gain. And no one should argue with that. If you don't care about the effect it can have, and Lala points out, even in her, I learned experience, was it worth it? Was it worth potentially screwing up the algorithm of your channel that you work in? Lala, you work so hard and you're so good at it. So that's a great.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely working hard. And I know Shay is serious. I mean, Shay is definitely not playing a game. She's not wasting her time start her. She started her channel. She's improving. She bought a mic. She's like making these improvements. And so, she's definitely looking.
I tell you what, Jim, this is pretty common these days. If I did a vlog and spoke my mind, I would alienate certain family members because of my viewpoints. Sadly, it's true. I wish we could get back to just, have to be happy that the guy has a sign in his yard, but can we just still be okay, get his paper and be friends? And I don't know, man, come on, we got to get through this. Tendencies are ebb and flow. Yeah. What is this here? No brainer. Been noticing that with the music, shows have been using classic songs. Yes. So I won't get into because I really think this is a fun topic and there's a lot of research into what's going on and there are people fearing, but it isn't just the fact the music's not as good, although there are a lot of people fearing that it's not. The biggest problem you're having is in a nutshell, People want to load that stuff up, but they don't really want to invest in the equity of knowing who's really singing. They don't really care. There's no loyalty like there used to be. That just isn't. Don't act like there is. There isn't. They're numbers to you. They're numbers on a playlist. Spotify's a playlist. I don't really care. Just play the list. You're not really searching out a specific song, generally. The other one is a lot of people are writing new songs and submitting them to labels. And even though they wrote the songs, labels are getting sued. And so there's a big gun shy. They're really gun shy about new music. Like it's almost like a hot potato legally. They don't even invest in this. So we should talk about it. I think it's really interesting. And I want to hear about all your music habits and how you're listening and learn. You know, I've been curious about that when we have that discussion. I'll put up a thumbnail longer in advance so we can have time to think about it. Yeah, being a moderator is a question of balance. There's a certain personality to moderating correctly. You certainly can't be a dynamite. You got to be intellectual and analytical about what's going on and treat things as they come. Who am I missing here? Give each other homework. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. If Nightbot doesn't behave, I had an issue with Nightbot and I kind of just killed it.
Yeah, you're better off just using your community tab. And going in and putting the words instead of Nightbot.
I did, and it's been I haven't had a problem since, and I have great moderators, and I have you so far, and it's been wonderful. I just love it. Tommy, I wanted to grab this real quick. Thank you, Tommy, for stepping in. YouTube isn't confused. You have to, you're right. It's not, You're confusing YouTube because they are two different audiences. The people that subscribe and watch your recorded videos are not the same people really that subscribe and watch your lives. They're really two different worlds for the most part that just sometimes have an overlap. And that creates a lot of problems. And so it's not that YouTube's confused, it's just that you are confusing YouTube, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, they're not confused, but I want YouTube to make certain adjustments for that. That's all in the algorithm.
We talked about this Saturday, and Ken seems to think that they, at least maybe you too, that they're interested in the idea. YouTube's got to fix this. I think. Maybe Tommy, do you think or care? I'd like to see them fix this.
If you
not
talk
punish
to
people.
anyone, right? There's a reason why big channels are starting other channels to just do their lives.
Well, yeah, because they know what's going to happen.
They know what's going on. And so I don't think that that's totally fair because there are plenty of people who just want to have both on their channel. So that's why I'm saying there has to be a little bit of a balance with that.
I mean, from day one, Tommy, you've said it. John and I have really come to we understand it. We get it. There's a reason we're making some changes, but it's all true.
Right.
It's all true. You got it. Yeah. I mean, I'm just not going to argue with it. And so the question is to what? And we're moving. We're pushing the deal. We're doing it. What's his follow up here? Videos getting pushed out. Start with subscribers. If only 50% of those subs click a notification, what's that tell YouTube if your own subs won't click? If your own tribe won't watch you, then they can't suspect that you're worth putting out and being discovered and putting out in the algorithm deeper. I mean, that's true.
I think, though, the average of people for YouTube channels, for notifications for them to click it is only like 2.5%. So because every time I'm getting a comment stating that higher than average people are clicking my notifications and I'm only at 3.5%. So it's a low number, I think, anyway. But 50% could be of the average.
It's a struggle. It's one that's kind of kept me up a little bit at night as I try to figure things out.
But he's right.
He's right.
He's right.
He's dead on.
Yeah, because
that's the thing.
It's what you're doing the most. So if we're just doing, Jeff and I have been doing the major live streams all the time, and a lot of those people have been the people that have subscribed to us, and that's what they know. Then when I put out a video about the Wave XLR, and I'm wondering why it's not getting traction as much, it's because there's a lot of the people, and this is the answer right here, is because a lot of people here watching are not interested in it.
No, and it's not their fault. It's just the way it was designed. It's just the way it ended up being.
I understand, but it's, I also am part of that also, and I have to take responsibility for that. And
we are our own. We know. Yeah.
Yes.
We know.
Exactly.
We sat there and both went, yep. We both accepted it. That's what's going on. And and change has got to be made. And that's why they are. But it's a tough thing to do. And I mentioned this last week. I think I said to John, as he stopped the streaming, and I said, I freed up some time to do videos. But why does it feel like I'm starting new? And your answer was, you are. Because you are.
You are.
And I'm like, holy shnikey, he's right. That's why I feel so overwhelmed with that. And that helped. That brutal honesty really helped. Nose, I don't know what's happening here. I look like a hamster with his cheeks full. I don't know what's going on, but you know what? That sounds like a lot of fun. We're going to finish up and let John go to bed here in a minute.
Yeah, I got to go to bed.
Yeah, I do too. Let's finish these out real quick, and then we're going to head out of here. I appreciate videos. We already read that. Don't need that. Yeah, we'll talk about this another time. About music, I had a crazy theory that happens public domain soon. It will be appealing to media. Maybe. I think the bigger issues are already on us, though. I think there's some real solid reasons why this is all going on. John, you saw the Dr. Elo thing, so I'm going to change the thumbnail.
That's crazy.
Thanks for Jeff for loaning me a streaming buddy. Jeff, we have to get in touch. You're next. Oh, no, he's picking me out of the fire. I think it's wonderful. And, that's great. I'll check out the new thumbnail.
I have a quick
do it.
A quick question for you, Jeff.
You do it.
Do you hear those audio glitches in the background?
On my channel?
I guess not.
No.
Well, I'm trying to figure out if it's me or you.
Let me turn the music off.
Like a glitch every now and then, and I'm not sure if it's in the stream or not.
It's
not. The music doesn't glitch.
No, but I wanted to make
like a little chick.
Yeah. Early on, I heard one, and I thought, that's interesting, but I had no idea where that was coming from. It sounded like the video was freezing or some kind of weird. That's what I heard. Like a needle stopping.
Like a kick.
Yeah, like someone bumped the phone, the record player. You know what, Elo? I would love to. I'd be honored to come on with you anytime. So you just say the word, and I'll make the time. I think that would be wonderful.
Okay, so they're not hearing the glitch.
Good.
Okay, that's good.
Good. Well, we'll keep the music down for a minute before we head out of here. And yeah, thanks to everybody. Thank you, community. Thank you for everybody stopping in on a Tuesday night for John and I. We appreciate it. We talked about our platforms next week. I'll dip into OBS or something, and if I'll open it up. If anybody wants to know how to do a scene in there or something real quick, I'll come up with some fake scene that we can throw together really quick. Just to do it. Maybe John will try to throw something at me that I didn't think about. If he can think of something in OBS to try or something good to show people, we'll just kind of do that for a little intro, and we'll have our talks, go from there. Flawless here. That's good to hear. Yeah. 5x5 here.
Awesome.
Good to hear. We don't hear the glitch. All right. Well, thanks to everybody. Rodrigo. Appreciate it. Thanks, Jeff and John and everyone. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. John. Thank you, man. It's really good to see you. You know, it's weird because I only see you once a week now. Weird in a good way. Because when I see you, I'm always excited. You know, because I see you so.
Isn't it?
So less.
Don't you feel like almost like 2 weeks goes by instead of 1 week? Because it feels like so long.
It used to be. It would always feel like I would see you all the time, and now it feels weeks. It feels like weeks, and even like talking back and forth. Like we get busy and are like, oh man, it seems like I haven't talked to John enough. And the truth of it is, I enjoy talking to John and hanging out. So
yeah.
That's always, I don't want to say it's a bummer. I'm just saying that's the way it is at the moment. And then there'll probably be weeks where we'll probably hang out again and annoy each other. But yeah, I enjoy this with you. I enjoyed so much. I enjoy the people who stop in, and I love the people that came in here tonight. Say hi, Tina. Thank you so much. Nose. TH2, Dr. Elo. I like to drop the names because it's important to me. Rodrigo and Patrick and all you guys.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Shay. Tommy, thank you so much for the info because it's great information. John, anything you want to drop before
Jim, nose pickings.
Jim, yep. Thank you, Jim, of course. I always know I'm going to forget people and feel bad. I always hate that. Well, we always appreciate you guys coming in. I said Patrick because he's a good friend of ours, and
I said it twice.
Okay, twice. Thank you. Tommy, give Tracy a hi for us. We adore Tracy as well. Anything you want to drop?
Flipper.
Phil, Annie.
Yeah, our friend Philly
Flipper,
Paul.
Yeah, Paul. Yeah.
Is under the weather. you know.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, I think he's doing okay. But let's, you know, say a little prayer for him
I
and
will.
make sure he feels a lot better. He was supposed to stream tonight, and he
Aw.
put the stream off. And we're thinking about him.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I hate to hear that. I hope everybody's, send those energies out and vibes to Paul, and to everybody
Yeah,
that's here
absolutely.
tonight, and the smiles. I can see the smiles, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Tina. And
Yeah, it was cashew. That's what it was. It was a sound effect.
she's yanking your chain, man.
The Russian has it. He's got the COVID.
The only glitch here is no eating a
He's,
Chicago hot dog.
I think he's Czechoslovakian or Lithuanian. I think he is, because we're the same. I think he's Czech.
He's got that Russian COVID, like that skater
He's got that Russian COVID.
that skater who's doping, and she got cleared, and now she's a 15-year-old doping Russian. There's some drama, I guess, in the Olympics. Is there anything that you want to drop about your channel, or anything that you that's coming up that you want to talk about? I know that you're working on something to do with Canva, though, and to build a scene and how you can do that.
I'm gonna probably, my upcoming streams are probably gonna be I'm gonna do an overlay in Canva and how I do them, and then I also want to do a stream on Video Ninja, how to bring a guest into OBS.
I'll be your guest.
And so Jeff and I have done that, and so I want to do it again, and you know, and see the improvements in the last bunch of months, and see the video quality and the ease of use, because it was easy to do the first time. It's just the video quality really was suffering, and I want to see how great the improvements are in that aspect.
Okay.
So we'll probably do something with that maybe this weekend coming up. So if Jeff has an hour or something, maybe we'll jump on for an hour.
I'll make an hour for you. I'll make an hour for
something
somebody.
like that.
Roxanne, I wanted to say special thank you to you. You've been a long-time stream
Thanks,
buddy
Roxanne.
and beautiful
She stayed
soul
up
and
late
energy.
tonight.
Thank you for staying up late, and thank you for another gathering. Thank you for part of that gathering. The Stream Buddies unite. We got our Stream Buddy rings, and we do the whole like Mighty Morphin. What is that? Mighty something.
Stream Buddy.
Yeah, I don't know how it goes. All right, John. So we will see you next Tuesday. We'll figure out what we're doing next Tuesday. Probably next on Monday. I'll figure it out. No, I'll figure something out with OBS, and we'll maybe talk some music. Maybe we'll talk about music too on the flip side of that discussion on Monday. We'll have a little intro tech. We'll talk a little bit about that scene if we want. You know. All right, my friends.
You got it.
Thank you, everybody. Everybody, peace out. We will talk to you. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. Thank you so much, everybody. See you then.
Bye.